1997 was the last time a McKinney ISD team found themselves at 2-0. That was the McKinney Lions. This time, it's the McKinney North Bulldogs. The Dogs have all grown up and sporting a by-district trophy and a number 2 area ranking. While McKinney North has won 9 straight games at Ron Post Stadium, they haven't been as successful on the road, and here we are tonight in Forney at Forney Citibank Stadium. It will be the McKinney North Bulldogs and the Forney Jackrabbits.
Yeah, Monty, this is our first chance to get a look at the McKinney North Bulldogs on the road. And in fact, our first chance to get a look at them, period, this year. We've done 2 McKinney ISD games, but neither one of them have been the North Bulldogs. And, this is the team, that's billed as your preseason favorite to win the district. This is a team that's 2-0 already. This is a team that's outscored those 2 opponents 92-10 on the way here. So we should be a good team. A lot of returning stars back from the playoff team last year.
And you talk about returning stars, none brighter than Eric Herbel, the quarterback. And I tell you what, the 6'3", 200-pound senior is the classic quarterback standing back there in the pocket. So far, he's completed 77% of his passes, going 24 out of 31 for 363 yards, and get this, 8 touchdowns already in the first 2 games.
And that's impressive. But I think what's more impressive, especially to turnover-type coaches who like to control the management, those 8 touchdowns have come with 0 interceptions.
Also returning, a name that you were very familiar with last season, was Chase Barrett. And Chase already getting into it, 34 carries, 263 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's a 7.75-yard average. And last year we called him 5-yard Barrett. We may have to give him a little promotion.
Yeah, because last week, 12 carries, 113 yards. So just over 10 yards per rush there, but the impressive thing is that's basically a half for him, and he got it in that respect, and the main thing is when you have a good, strong team, it allows you to, in those later games or the later part of the game where you're doing well, you can put your other guys in there and give them varsity experience because your starters are so good.
Chase Barrett ranked 10th among area running backs with 262 yards rushing. Also passing, Eric Herbel is ranked 12th in the area with his yardage. But with him, it's not so much the yardage, it's the completion percentage. Last week going 10 for 10 against Denton.
Yeah, if he can manage a game, that's all you need. It's a guy who can just complete passes, and that's what they being Sean Pratt and the McKinney North coaches have in their quarterback. And he's a guy who last year was a junior starter and played very well. He got rocked a little bit early in some scenarios, but he never was able, you look at the Northwest game, you look at the Hebron game, and they were in his face, but not once did you think that this guy can't do it. He's probably, you can say this in 5 years easily, the best quarterback North's ever had.
Oh, without a doubt. And you know what? A lot of those offensive guys are going to get a lot of the credit. But let's talk about the defense. This is an area in which McKinney North has never been known for. As a matter of fact, McKinney North used to give up a lot of points. Gave up 33 a game, 33 a game in 02, 34 a game in 03, 34 a game in 04. Last year dipped it down to 26. And so far this season, it's been pretty incredible. Only 10 points given up in the first 2 games.
I think any defensive-minded coach will take a 5-point per game average given up by the defense. They've just been really what this team has needed to go from a good team to a great team. They've always had the offense, and that's never been the problem, but it's always been the reactionary guys on defense who haven't been able to do it. But this year's version, you can't say anymore. 5 points per game, 2 games, and you take what you will out of that. And, it's not district yet, but from all you've seen, it looks like they're living up to the preseason billing.
It has to help having Kenny Ducks having his second year to implement his defense, and obviously those are paying off. John Leidy down on the sidelines, talk about the field conditions and the weather here tonight.
Yes, we're here in Forney, Texas at the Citibank Stadium, home of the Forney Jackrabbits. This facility opened in 2003 and seats 10,500 people. This is the only time this year that the McKinney North Bulldogs will play on an actual natural grass field. The Bulldogs are sporting their road white jerseys this game, with their solid orange with the white and blue stripe down each side. Something that I've noticed is the Bulldogs have gone back to their old road jerseys from a couple years ago. I'm still doing some investigative reporting on this, and I'll get back with y'all on that.
All right.
Back up to y'all.
Thanks a lot, John, for the investigative reporting on the old look, the old jerseys that McKinney North sporting tonight. As you mentioned, the solid blue numerals and really no, normally they have the stripe over the shoulder like the New York Jets kind of, but no stripe tonight, just the old plain jerseys.
Well, we were doing our research before the game like we do before every game, and the road record last year wasn't that great. They won one regular season road game. And the initial reports coming was that they're changing back to the jerseys prior to last year because they didn't do too well. We don't know if that's the official reason, but that's what the early returns are at least. And
John made a good point about playing on natural grass for the first time. You don't even see a lot of these fields around anymore. Most of the time you have the Astro play, but it is kind of special for us anyway to get to see the grass field. But how special is it for the players, or is it? I think they probably would prefer the turf.
You're probably right. Growing up in West Texas, where football is king, we always would play on the natural grass, and occasionally we'd go to the bigger stadiums during the playoffs. We were a 3A school at the time, and go, oh, what turf? Oh, this is great. Look at, and that wasn't even the good turf at the time. That was still the AstroTurf that a lot of the stadiums had that caused injuries and things like that. And as a player, we were so excited about it. But now that you play on turf, I look back at it, boy. Natural grass, you can't beat that. You really can't.
You might have some people arguing with you that football is king only in West Texas.
Oh, I'm not saying it's king in West Texas. In West Texas, it is king.
Okay.
You can't argue with that one. I mean, Midland, Lee, Permian have had, storied rivalries, movies made about them, documentaries. That's what there is over there.
Well, it is a beautiful night here in Forney, Texas, just off of 80, and probably about 89 degrees, somewhere around that. Maybe it might be in the 90s.
Well, there's a T-shirt shooting fan in the audience just shooting them at people who aren't even ready for it. Now they're ready at the first one.
Well, it's the McKinney North Bulldogs and the Forney Jackrabbits. We'll have more of that coming up next on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Citibank Stadium in Forney, Texas. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. We just had the coin toss down on the field. McKinney North won the coin toss and deferred. And Brandon, did you see which way they're going to defend?
That I missed, but I believe they're going to be in what would be the north end zone. They're defending the north. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's what it is.
Well, we have some jersey issues that John was working on earlier. We did find out the reason that they had the solid white, their old white uniforms on, was because Forney painted the field here green. And Coach Sean Pratt got a phone call. They said you might want to use the white jerseys because they painted it and it's fresh paint, and you might have stains on those new uniforms.
Yeah, we are in drought stage, so that's not unheard of. We were walking the field before the game, and we came across a brown spot, where there was no grass, and it was painted green.
But John Leidy has some new information for us since then.
Guys, I'm still investigating this. They come out in their brand new jerseys now, and here they are taking the field. Back up to y'all.
They have switched back to their brand new uniforms, or they were new last year.
I thought he was our investigative reporter.
Yeah, I guess so, but McKinney North has made their way back out onto the field. And here come the Forney Jackrabbits. As you can tell, we are right on top.
Diesel horn Coach Pratt made mention of.
We are right on top of the Forney Jackrabbit fans here at Citibank Stadium, and we are actually in open air for the first time. This is, I think, the third time I've ever done a game out in the open air on a film deck.
Yeah,
little
that's
different,
the weird eye.
Little different atmosphere for broadcasters.
Yeah, I've done a couple of games where there was a spillover deck for the press and things like that, but never have we shared it with the camera crew before.
The Forney Jackrabbits come out in their all-black uniforms. Now they are speckled with some gold on the sleeves and down the side, I guess, of the abdomen. But their helmets are solid black, absolutely no logo, anything on those helmets. And the pants are solid black, socks solid black. And I tell you what, they kind of are reminiscent of those old Denison Yellow Jackets a little bit. We're just about ready to get set for the national anthem, and that'll be played by the Forney Jackrabbit Band. And we'll give that to you right here. Probably one of the slowest renditions of the national anthem that you will ever hear, but a nice one at that. I told you it was going to be the Forney Jackrabbit Band, but it was not, obviously, as you could tell. We're going to take a quick timeout as McKinney North football will continue in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Citibank Stadium in Forney, Texas. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. McKinney North lines up for the kickoff. They actually faked the quail onside. Now will back up. Doing the kicking will be Stephen Meyer. Remember last year, Blake Boblitz, the all-state kicker, graduated, so they had a big hole there, but Stephen Meyer's done a great job so far. He'll tee it up, and this ball game is underway as Stephen Meyer's kick rolls at the 1-yard line and goes into the end zone and out of bounds, but a great job of hitting that corner there.
Yeah, and it's not a punting situation, so if it goes out of bounds before the goal line, it's a penalty. So that was a good job by finding that corner.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Forney, and they will set up shop at the 20-yard line. We'll give you the McKinney North dog defense right after this play. As on 1st and 10, Forney will huddle 5 yards off the ball. And they're coached by Kevin Rush, who also, like Sean Pratt, is a Plano graduate and also won a state championship there at Plano. 2 receivers to either side, I formation for the quarterback, Landon Hartwick. He's going to hand off up the middle, big hole, up to the 25, fighting his way past to the 26 and 27-yard line. On the carry is Andre DeRozier, and DeRozier is one of those kids that we didn't talk about in the pregame show, but probably should have. He comes in 16th in the area with 216 yards. Let's give you the McKinney North Bulldog dog defense.
Okay, BM, Ruben Gonzalez, defensive tackle. Brett Davis, nose guard. Ryan Selby-Connie, right tackle. Shaw Robinson, BM. Colton Floyd, inside linebacker. Mike Smith, inside linebacker. Brendan Dunn, safety.
On 2nd down, a fumble on the play. Ball is loose behind the line of scrimmage, but I think DeRozier was able to fall back on the ball for Forney, and it'll be 3rd down and about 5.
McKinney got a lucky bounce on that. It went straight to one of their players. Unfortunately, he was blocked into the ground and had his back to the ball.
Also a starter for McKinney North, Kyle Dancy, the cornerback, and Michael Scott, who weren't in the listed in the starting lineup there, along with Martin Holmes, the safety. And actually, I believe, in the game right now is Kenny McGowan at that cornerback position on the far side. Here's Hardwick. He's rolling out, wants to throw, has a man, and it may be interference, and it is on the cornerback, Marquise Millard Sims, who had some he actually came up and bumped him from behind as the pass would have been caught, but Millard Sims made that little interference call.
It was a high ball, and it hung in the air a little while longer, which is basically what allowed that pass interference to go. If it was more of a rope, the timing would have been better, and likely not interference, though the receiver was in a better position to field that one. It's an automatic 1st down. Only penalty of about, do the math here, 7 yards.
And the ball will be spotted right at the 27-yard line. So a 1st down for Forney on the interference call. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Fullback moves early. This is going to be a handoff to DeRozier. Helmets are flying all over the field. McKinney North, Ruben Gonzalez lost his helmet after about a 2-yard run by DeRozier, and it'll bring up 2nd down at about 8. 10:24 left to go, 1st quarter just underway. No score here at Citibank Stadium in Forney.
Starting offense for the Jackrabbits look like this. Start off with the offensive line. Left tackle Alex Dennis, left guard J.B. Everett, Jeff Sneed, the senior at center, Josh Orchid, right guard, Patrick Doherty, the right tackle. The quarterback, Landon Hartwick. In the backfield, Sondre DeRozier, and the receivers are Brendan Medlock, Richard Romero, and Austin Williams. Travis Floyd, the tight end.
This is going to be Hartwick throwing the screen out to the left side. It's caught at the 30, crossed to the 33-yard line. And on the catch for Forney is going to be Brandon Medlock, who came in with 7 catches, 55 yards. You can add another 3 or 4 to that one. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 3, possibly 4. Probably going to be closer to 3 here with 9:38 left to go in the 1st quarter. No score at Citibank Stadium, Forney, Texas.
Simple screen pass to the receiver. The blocking was set up. McKinney North was in good position because there was a whole bunch of white surrounding Medlock, but it wasn't able to be enough to actually bring him down, and only eventually a 4-yard pass anyway.
Hartwick in shotgun this time, rolls out, wants to look to his left side, throws it, and it falls incomplete. Kenny McGowan on the coverage. He was trying to hit his wide receiver out there, which is Zane Young, who on the season 3 catches, 55 yards and 2 touchdowns, but it fell about 3 yards in or underthrown and incomplete.
Timing just a little off there. It looked like the quarterback expected a shorter out pass by Medlock there on the far side, and Medlock again took it 3 yards, and the ball was short. Medlock hadn't even turned to look by the time the ball was in the air, which is normally a good thing, but when it was so underthrown like that, there was not a chance that would be completed. Almost intercepted, but that was just out of the reach of the North defender, McGowan, on the far side.
Well, it'll be Matt McEwen back to punt, standing at his own 19-yard line for Forney. He kicks this one away. It's a high end-over-end kick that's going to bounce. Actually, Brandon Dunn calls for the fair catch and takes it right at the 40-yard line. So McKinney North will set up shop, moving right to left from the 40-yard line, 60 yards away from their first score. 9:07 left to go here at City Bank Stadium, Forney, Texas, no score.
A simple 27-yard punt. Dunn actually had to come up to field that one, and the Forney Jackrabbits were dangerously close to violating his circle to field that one. Officials ruled that there was enough room in between the defenders and the returner there. But now North set up in really good position, Monty. They're at the 40 with only 60 yards to go to the opposing end zone.
Right after this play, we'll give you the starting offense, the dog offense for McKinney North. Here on 1st and 10, 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. David Douglas to the near side. Shotgun formation for Herbal. Chase Barrett stands beside him. Herbal wants to throw. Has David Douglas at the 45, trying to spin out of a tackle, and then the Forney Jackrabbits are right there to corral him. But a 5-yard gain for McKinney North on first down. And here is your McKinney North Bulldogs starting offense.
Dan Holt, left tackle. Ryan Silver, Connie, left guard. Taylor Davidson. Right Davis, right tackle. Jeff Olson, tight end. Alex Parker, wide receiver. David Douglas, wide receiver. Blake Mooney, wide receiver. Chase Barrett, running back. Eric Herbal, quarterback.
Blake Mooney split out wide right. David Douglas to the left. Shotgun formation for Herbal, and he's going to hand off Barrett right up the middle, right and right tackle. Big hole, flag down at the 48-yard line, and being corralled and dropped down there is shy of the first down. It would be 3rd and short, but let's check the flag. And down on the sidelines is John Leidy, and John might have had a good look at that one. John, could you tell us what's going on with the flag?
Yeah, guys, it's going to be offsides on the defense, which is going to give the Bulldogs a first down. Back up to y'all.
All right, thanks, John. And that is what a sideline guy is supposed to do right there.
More or less. I won't feather his cap too much. We don't want the rookie getting a big head too early.
unless obviously they move it back against McKinney North.
Well, they've already called it, so getting the first down, and all of a sudden McKinney North in the opposing territory, just on the other side of the 50, not quite at the 49 yet, but enough to be called at the 49.
8:23 here in the first quarter, no score in Forney, Texas. McKinney North at City Bank Stadium. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far right. Handoff Barrett running left tackle this time and pops right at the line of scrimmage. And I think he's actually going to lose a yard, as coming up on the stop for Forney was Clint Kiger, the returning starter from last year, 5'9", 225-pound senior.
Yeah, a loss of about a yard on the play, Monty. It was just excellent pressure coming up from the middle there of the defense. The Kiger listed on the chart as a nose tackle, but they run a 4-3, so it's more like a defensive tackle. But if you can get that kind of pressure up the middle, you're going to have a successful defense, and on that play you saw why.
Jeff Olson in the slot. He's considered a tight end, but he's in that slot most of the time. Barrett moved a little bit early. Blake Mooney, actually that's not Mooney, but a catch is made. A ball is on the turf, and Forney all of a sudden has recovered a fumble. On the catch for McKinney North was Alex Parker, who came in with 1 catch on the year, 22 yards be it, but his second catch of the year would have been for right almost a first down. However, it is dropped on the turf and turned over to Forney.
Not good when you turn the ball over inside the opposing end, so that means you were doing something. Parker trying just a little too much as he was being tackled and had the ball stripped out. And, on the fumble, if you get a lucky bounce, you're in good shape, and that's what happened with Forney.
7:33 here in the first. Forney has the ball. This is going to be Hartwick wanting to throw the home run ball, and he throws it way down the field, but no one is there other than the cornerback, Michael Scott. He was trying to hit Brandon Medlock, but Medlock's route ran a different pattern than what Hartwick wanted.
Medlock was out of bounds, so he couldn't catch that if he wanted to. I don't know if he was looking at the wrong line on the sideline in between the 25s. There's a line that the players can't cross, so that allows coaches and the officials to run down the sideline free and not have to worry about the bench players. But he was inside that, right by that line, so I don't know if he thought that was where the marker was.
Austin Williams split out wide left. There's some movement early, and McKinney North's defensive lineman jumped over, and that's going to be Brett Davis who made the initial contact. So I believe that's going to be against McKinney North. And our sideline official down there, John Leidy, tell us, did you see the same thing?
Yes, sir. I saw the same thing down here. They were both arguing offensive, defensive, who jumped first, but it was a defensive. Back up to y'all.
Well, the North player there that did that, Davis, started walking back as soon as he hit him. He knew right away what had happened.
Well, it'll be 2nd down and 5 now. 1 yard shy of the midfield stripe at the 49-yard line. 7:25 left to go. First quarter, no score. Forney and McKinney North. And once again, Brett Davis is drawn offside. A fumble on the play, and I believe on the recovery, Mike Smith for the McKinney North Bulldogs. And yes, it's going to stand. There was some movement early on in that play. Brett Davis jumped over once again, but I believe he didn't make contact, didn't get across the line, and that enabled Mike Smith to recover that fumble there.
Well, that's the difference between offense and defense, Monty, is the defense can move all they want to. They can even cross into the opponent's territory. As long as they get back beforehand, it didn't touch an offensive player, that's legal. However, the offense moves, then you're in trouble, and that's not the case there. Davis jumped, again, the second play in a row that he jumped, but he got back, and that's a situation where the quarterback, Hartwick, has got to be able to say, okay, you're in, let's go, run the play, whether it's a 2 or 3 count or not.
First down and 10 for McKinney North in Forney territory now, just barely, but at the 48-yard line. 2 receivers to the far side, David Douglas to the near side, and a man goes in motion, and Herbal is going to fake the hand, wants to throw it down to Blake Mooney down the field at the 30-yard line, and it's just overthrown and incomplete. Nice coverage out there by the cornerback, but it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Actually, Mooney slipped, allowing that ball to be overthrown. As Herbal was throwing it, Mooney was down at about the 30-yard line, near 20 yards downfield, and he made a cut. It was a simple flag pattern, and as he made his cut, as he went back to the outside, he slipped, and that allowed the ball to be overthrown.
That is Aaron Fuller into the game at the slot receiver. Alex Parker out of the game. David Douglas near side, Mooney to the far right, moving right to left. This is going to be a handoff. Barrett, big hole up the middle, pushing his way to the 45-yard line, and now the Forney Jackrabbits defense will gang tackle him and push him back, but forward progress gives him 5 yards, or about 4 yards on the carry.
So far, 2 carries, 3 yards for Barrett. He did have another carry that was wiped out because of a Jackrabbit penalty of offsides. But the early returns show that the Forney Jackrabbit defensive run, at least the run defense, doing pretty good, doing pretty well.
Douglas near side, Blake Mooney to the far side. Shotgun formation, Herbal drops back 2 steps, looking left side, throws over for David Douglas. It's caught at the 35-yard line and driven back to the 38. Surely they'll give him forward progress there, and they will. They'll spot it right at the 30. Well, they'll spot him at the 37-yard line. So I thought he had an extra yard there, but I won't get too picky.
Going to give him 9, and that's the second reception for Douglas. And Douglas is one of Herbal's favorite receivers coming into this game. Douglas had 12 receptions on the year. That's an average of 6 per game. And he already has 2 tonight.
1st and 10 for McKinney North, moving right to left once again. 6:27 left to go here in the first quarter, no score. Herbal barking, hands off. Barrett right side trying to find the far outside, can't do it. He's hit after about a 1-yard gain up to the 36-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Nice job on the defensive play calling for the Jackrabbit defense. They were coming on a blitz from the outside there, and that's exactly what the play call was for North. Not a lot Barrett could do when there's more black shirts than there are white. You know, that's a tough situation to get out of, and since Barrett was already moving forward, it was almost an easy tackle, and eventually a gain of 1, which shows you just how good Barrett is, that a blitz still gained a yard.
Both tight ends in for McKinney North. Herbal is going to hand off Barrett, learning left tackle. Big hole at the 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, and down at the 3-yard line. Chase Barrett, a big hole right up the middle, and now McKinney North is set up in prime territory to get to the first points on the board tonight.
Well, it took him his 4th carry to break a big one, but that's a 31-yard run by Barrett from the 35 down to the 4, and he almost had it. It was a shoelace tackle, a diving shoelace tackle at that, but now North set up really well.
First and goal from the 4. Chase Barrett running right side, right tackle, fighting his way towards the end zone, is down to the 1-yard line. It'll be second and goal from the 1.
He carried the pile for 3 yards there. He was tackled right near the line, or rather, I shouldn't say tackle. He was wrapped up right near the line of scrimmage and basically just powered his way forward.
5:14 and rolling here in the first quarter. McKinney North looking for their first touchdown. It's an I formation, a semi-I formation for McKinney North. Herbal now moves to the left, handoff to Barrett, and a flag down right at the 1-yard line, at the line of scrimmage. Barrett did not get in. He was tackled at the line of scrimmage. And John Lighty, tell us what the flag is.
It's offsides on the Forney Jackrabbits. That's going to give them a first down on about the 1-inch yard line. Back up to y'all.
All right, thanks, John. We'll sort this out and see if you're correct once again. You've been correct all night.
Well, it is an offsides, but it's not an automatic first down penalty. It's going to be replayed the down, so it'll stay second down for the North offense. You're going to give them about, basically a half yardage in penalties.
The fullback for McKinney North is going to be Colton Floyd, standing right in front of Chase Barrett. Now Herbal is still in shotgun formation, so it's not a true I formation. And now Herbal will move and throw the option out to Barrett, who crosses into the end zone, and it's touchdown time in Texas for McKinney North. And McKinney North strikes first blood tonight, 6-0. 4:50 left to go here in the first quarter, and I tell you what, that offense just keeps rolling.
Well, David Douglas, nice job blocking on the outside. That allowed Barrett to basically lower his shoulder on one defender, else he would have been pancaked, and that allowed everything to set up very well for the Bulldogs on that touchdown run of 1 yard for Barrett.
And the extra point team will come in now, and obviously Blake Boblett's gone. Stephen Meyer will do the kicking for McKinney North.
Well, you look at McKinney, you realize just how important a good kicker is. They lost last week because they didn't have a kicker, and McKinney North won a couple of games last year because they did have Boblets.
Meyer's kick is up. It's very high, and it's very good. 7-0, McKinney North over Forney. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Citibank Stadium in Forney, Texas. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms and John Lighty. It's 7-0 McKinney North as Chase Barrett just took it in from 1 yard out. And I tell you what, the McKinney North offense just rolls and rolls and rolls. And so far, 97 points for McKinney North this season and 10 given up.
And that's in 9 quarters. And it's not like we're talking about a whole bunch of games.
Stephen Meyer will boot this one away. Another high kick going towards the end zone. It's caught at the 1 yard line. It's going to be taken there as the Forney Jackrabbit will take it out to the 20 yard line. Actually, the 15 is where he's going to take it. And then talking about Rodney Nelson on the return.
Never a good idea if you're Nelson to leap up. And that's a good thing about having a powerful kicker at the high school level, because most of the time your blocking is occurring around the 30 to, in that range. And he fielded the ball at the 3, lost control with it, picked it up back at the 1, and ran forward. And by the time he gets to the 12, there's defenders there. So he left his feet trying to leap over the defender, and that's usually never a good idea to leave your feet. And they pretty much tackled him into the ground.
It was a 48-yard drive for McKinney North. And it was actually 8 plays. So a nice drive early on for McKinney North. Here's Forney, 1st and 10 from the 15. Big hole up the middle, and that's going to be the running back. And that's Andre DeRozier, who has the 40, 35, and all the way down to the 32-yard line in McKinney North territory. And check that, it's not DeRozier. It is Peter Smith, the backup running back. On the season, Smith had 8 carries, 43 yards, and a touch. And he has another big run there.
Well, 53 yards.
So Peter Smith has a huge impact in this game early on with this big run there.
Let's give credit to that offensive line. They set up that perfectly, cleared the middle out entirely, forcing the McKinney North secondary to have to make that play. And you got to wonder when you run the 5 defensive lineman set.
Flags on the play before this one could get underway. It was 1st and 10 for Forney.
Anyway, as I was saying, when you run the 5 defensive linemen set, it's imperative that your line don't let the ball carrier get behind them, because when they do, you've got 2 linebackers, and if one of them is blocked, you're in trouble. A lot of the times the 5 defensive lineman set works out really well because you can get a lot of penetration and things like that, but this time it came back and it hurt him on that play.
What was the penalty, John? And John couldn't hear us on that one, I guess. It'll be 1st and 15 from the 37-yard line in McKinney North territory. Forney is moving left to right, I formation. Hartwick, the quarterback, is going to hand off, and this is the tailback, DeRozier, who is wrapped up at the 34-yard line, so a gain of about 3 or 4. Not a big explosion by Forney, but DeRozier is one of those explosive type backs.
Nice 4-yard carry, and that play showed you what happens when your defensive linemen get the job done. They had penetration. That could have been a bigger play, and Forney's lucky they were able to get 4 yards out of it, because by the time he hit the line of scrimmage, there was white there.
This is Hartwick back to pass, looking over for the screen pass out left. DeRozier has it at the 30, 25, and knocked out of bounds at the 22-yard line. So DeRozier swung out in the flat, and Hartwick just laid it right over his shoulder. And once you have it in DeRozier's hands, it's trouble because he's very quick.
Well, and that's a screen pass you used to see all the time in the early 90s. The Cowboys would run with Emmitt Smith, but this one was a little bit more quicker. In that situation, Smith would just fly out basically as the safety valve on the play. And this time, DeRozier basically started out sprinting, and he was the main receiver, and they had the wideouts, or the wideout on the left side, just clear the area, and that's how you were able to see such a big gain. Didn't get a first down on it, but he did get 11 yards.
3rd down and 1, 3:03 left to go. First quarter, McKinney North on top, 7-0. Here's DeRozier, handoff. That's Peter Smith, actually. He has the first down and more at the 10 and down at the 9-yard line. So far, Peter Smith has been the most effective running back for Forney as he comes in there and picks up the first down. And now Forney all of a sudden is in business inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal from the 9.
Well, a quick 2 plays. They had 1 first down on the prior 2 drives, and that came via penalty, but now they've got 2 quick first downs off the run, and in fact, the run of Peter Smith.
Medlock will go wide out left for Forney. Coming near side is Austin Williams. Hartwick, the quarterback, goes under center. I formation. He's going to hand off. Peter Smith, running left tackle, fights through a couple of holes and down at the 6-yard line. So a gain of 3 on first down with 2:41 left to go in the first quarter. McKinney North on top, 7-0.
3 carries, 69 yards by Smith, and you can't ask for a whole lot more than that. One was a 53-yard run. The next one was a 13-yard run. And that one was a 3, so slowly they're dwindling it down, his yards on the rush.
Zach Young will bring in the play call for Forney, and he will split wide out left. On the near side is Austin Williams. I formation. Hartwick, the quarterback, goes under center, tosses Peter Smith right up the middle, fighting his way to the 3-yard line, down at the 2-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and goal from about the 3, maybe 2.5.
Yeah, the official mark looks to be right at the 2. So that'll be a gain of 5. And that puts Peter Smith at 74 yards on the night. But right now it's taking a few McKinney North defenders to bring him down. They're doing an effective job in the gang tackling, getting to the ball, but they're not doing a good job of bringing him down on the first contact.
3rd and goal from the 2. Under 2 minutes here, 1:38 on the first quarter clock. McKinney North on top, 7-0. Handoff, Peter Smith, right guard, goes nowhere. The dog pound defense is right there to make the stop. It'll be 4th down and decision time for Coach Kevin Rush, and his decision is going to be to bring on the field goal unit.
Yeah, we don't know how effective they are, but on that play, it was Rashad Robinson coming off the strong defensive end set that was able to stop Peter Smith, wrapped him up, and this time Smith wasn't able to get out of the tackle, and that allowed the McKinney defense to take a yard off of the distance to go to the end zone. But nice job Robinson coming from his inside, and that's exactly what you want your end to do, keep contained.
Well, it'll be Thomas Moreland on for the 20-yard field goal. The holder is Richard Romero. The snap is back. It's on the tee. The kick is up. It's a line drive kick. That's good. So Forney is on the board, 7-3. McKinney North in the lead. 57 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Citibank Stadium in Forney, Texas. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. 7-3. McKinney North in the lead. Only 57 seconds left to go in this first quarter. And a nice drive for Forney there as it goes 85 yards on 8 plays and took 4 minutes. Well, right at 4 minutes. I guess a little bit less. 3 minutes and 50 seconds off the clock.
Nice job on the goal-to-go defense there for the Bulldogs. The Jackrabbits had first and goal at the 9, and North held them to just that one field goal.
Forney will tee it up from their own 40-yard line with 57 seconds left to go in the first quarter again. And kicking off will be Thomas Moreland, who just made that 20-yard field goal for Forney.
And that was a good-looking field goal. I think that would have been good from the 40s.
Back deep is Kenny McGowan and Chase Barrett for McKinney North. It's going to be a high kick, going to be taken by Brandon Dunn on the left hash, and he fights his way up to the 26-yard line. So McKinney North will take over with 51 seconds on the first quarter clock, up 7-3 from their own 27-yard line.
Proof why the pooch kick is so successful. Dunn fielded that at the 25, got up to the 30. It very much limits the return game of the opposing team. That's why you see it more and more in college football today, or high school football today.
Brandon Dunn will stay in the game here, and actually I think they're going to re-kick. There must have been a penalty on that play, and John Leidy down on the sidelines might have seen this. And John, did you get a look at what the penalty might be?
Yes, guys, it was offsides by Forney Jackrabbits their kickoff. They're going to try to re-kick this kick again. Back up to y'all.
We saw that a lot last week as well, the offsides on the kickoff. That should be one of the easiest not to get offsides, because all you have to do is look straight down the line. When the ball's kicked, that's when you cross.
And Thomas Moreland will move this one back from the 40, and they will tee it up now at the 35. Again, a nice couple of drives here by both teams. McKinney North had the 8-play 48-yard drive, which got their score, and Forney just now, a moment ago, an 85-yard drive. Actually, it's not 85. It's 65-yard drive because of the field goal where it's spotted, or 75-yard drive, actually.
Well, they got down to the 3. So don't.
Well, that's true. So an 85, it'll be an 82-yard drive. So with Moreland teeing it up from the 35-yard line, 51 seconds left to go in the first quarter clock. The ball is another high pooch kick. This time to the right side, and that's Millard Sims, who's going to take it up to the 50. And I tell you what, he had a seam for a moment, but fell down in a jackrabbit arms at about the 49-yard line.
On paper, just a 5-yard penalty for the Jackrabbits, but in essence, that's almost a 20-yard penalty. North would have had the ball at the 30. Now they're at their own 49, just 51 yards to go till the end zone. And that's a huge penalty right there for the Jackrabbits. And they tried kicking it off pooch style onto the far sideline. The first time it was on the near sideline. Then McKinney North was able to get some good blocks and run down the sideline and get good field position.
We're going to check down with John Leidy right after this play and talk about the wind patterns, if it's going to make any difference moving or changing sides of the field. And we'll talk to John right after this play. 45 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the right for McKinney North, moving right to left. Herbal in shotgun, wants to run the option to the right side. He pitches it out to Barrett, makes one man miss and can't miss the others as he does gain about a yard, but it'll be 2nd down and 9. And John, they're about to switch sides here. Tell us, is it going to make a difference on the passing game?
Guys, before the game, the wind was really hard coming from the north end zone. Since the game has started, it's actually coming out of the northwest a little bit. At the north end of the field, it may make a little bit of a difference because the stands aren't blocking it towards the south side. It's a little calmer down here. Back up to y'all.
All right, thanks, John. Shotgun formation for Herbal once again on 2nd down and 9. David Douglas will come split out wide left, and Herbal wants to throw to Mooney on the far side, and I believe Mooney makes the catch, and he does, so a gain of about 5. Brings it out to the 46-yard line, and that is the end of the first quarter. McKinney North on top, 7-3. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Citibank Stadium in Forney, Texas. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. We are in the second quarter now. 7-3, McKinney North in the lead over Forney, and they will switch sides, and McKinney North will now move left to right. It will be Mooney to the near side and Douglas to the far side. And he wants Douglas over there, and he hits him right at the 38-yard line, and he fights his way forward to the 38, or actually the 34 is where they're going to mark him. So it'll be first down and 10 for McKinney North.
That's already Douglas's third catch on the evening, and he's starting to rack up the yards too. That's going to put him over 20.
Well, he came in with 12 catches, 233 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Of course, last week helped with that because he had 3 catches for 113 last week. High snap. Barrett up the middle, big hole to the 25 and down at the 23-yard line. So Barrett moves the sticks once again on first down, or it's going to be very close. Actually, I think it's going to be second down and a real short one.
Looks like the official's estimate. You're right, it's going to be second and 1. 9 yards on a first down carry. You'll take that every time.
11:30 left to go, second quarter. McKinney North on top, 7-3. We got a score from the homecoming game in McKinney, 7-0. The Lions on top of Richardson. Shotgun formation. Herbal looks over the left side, pumps to the left, throws to the right. Mooney in the end zone, overthrows him in the back side of the right side of the end zone, and it'll be incomplete. It'll bring up third down and 1. I like the play call on second and short.
Yeah, I like the play call too. I didn't like the decision when your receiver is on the bad side of the defender and you almost overthrow him. That could spell trouble. Luckily, North is going to be able to escape without anybody catching that one. But Herbal's got to be a little bit careful because he's throwing across his body and across the field, and that's hard to pinpoint accurate.
Third down and a short 1. Herbal is going to hand off Barrett, running left side, fighting his way and pushing his way towards that first down marker, and it'll be first down and 10 for McKinney North with 11:10 left to go here in the first quarter, or second quarter rather.
Chase Barrett now we're 50 yards rushing. That puts him right at 50, and he's done that on 9 carries, so it's effective. Not what he did last week, but still effective nonetheless.
Blake Mooney split out wide right. And Douglas to the left side. Here's Chase Barrett up the middle, right guard, flag down. He gets to the 20, to the 18-yard line and pushed down there. About a 5-yard gain, but we'll check the flag and see what that is.
It came in the pile, so it can be any number of things. The highest percentage flag will be on an offensive holding.
And Forney is pointing that way, that it is going to go against McKinney North, and it does. It's actually offsides against McKinney North, or illegal procedure rather. So 10:51 left to go in the second quarter. McKinney North on top, 7-3. Once again, we got a score from McKinney, 7-0. McKinney over Richardson for their homecoming, and that would be number 499 for McKinney in UIL. So that would set up a big crosstown. I don't know if it's actually called a crosstown showdown for McKinney Boyd or not.
No.
But they would have a chance to pin number 500 on the newest school in town. Shotgun formation for North. 2-step drop for Herbal. Looking over to Douglas. Fires it down in the end zone, and Douglas makes the catch at the 1-yard line, strolls in, and it's touchdown time in Texas. Right on the money. Eric Herbal to David Douglas, and just like that, McKinney North is on the board again.
Can't ask for a much simpler pattern. It looked like Douglas ran a stop and go. I wasn't watching the route, but he had the defender fooled on whatever it was, and since he was running down the sideline, that's generally what that pattern is, and Herbal led that one perfectly. If Douglas wasn't going to get it, no one was. Nice job there on the communication. I mean, it's beautiful to watch those two. 67 yards passing for Herbal on the night, and he's done that on 6 of 8 throwing.
Well, this will be Stephen Meyer on for the extra point. It's up, it's very high, and it's good. 14-3, McKinney North in the lead. 10:35 left to go, second quarter. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Citibank Stadium in Forney, Texas. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. 14-3, McKinney North in the lead on that 23-yard pass from Eric Herbal to David Douglas. It was a 6-play drive, took all of 45 yards. Well, it's not a huge drive, but it doesn't have to be because that's where they got the ball. 6-play, 45 yards. Or check that, actually 55 yards on the drive. Stephen Meyer will tee it up from the 40-yard line, moving left to right. He will boot this one. Another high kick. It's going to go towards the left corner of the end zone and going to be taken by the deep man that's Medford actually, who dives once again as Medlock, I called him Medford, actually it's Medlock, who took the ball up to the 25-yard line and went airborne and dove really over nobody.
Well, he's jumping. And it's the same thing that he did the last return, and when he jumps, you leave your feet and you're at the total mercy of the defense, and that's exactly what happened there. He tried to jump over the pile. Someone grabbed his feet. Whenever you do that, you're about to fall head first, and that's almost exactly what happened right there. It's why you don't ever leave your feet. You lose all control.
10:29 on the second quarter clock. McKinney North on top, 14-3. Hartwick will go under center, one man in the backfield, and that's DeRozier, not Smith. And DeRozier's going to get the carry right up the middle and not much doing there. Matt Smith on the tackle along with a host of others, including the cornerback Michael Scott, who comes up.
Well, it looked like on that play for the Jackrabbits that the center, Jeff Sneed, stepped on the foot of his quarterback, Landon Hartwick. But luckily Hartwick for the Jackrabbits was able to just be able to lift the ball just enough to get it in the arms of DeRozier before causing a fumble or anything, and it ended up being a gain of 3 yards. You got to have better, it's a chance thing more than anything else, but you got to have a better communication between the center and quarterback.
Forney spreads it out here, sends 3 receivers to the near side. Hartwick goes in shotgun formation, and DeRozier is in the backfield. An incomplete pass as he was throwing it out to the left side, trying to find his receiver, and I believe that was Austin Williams.
Yeah.
But it falls incomplete.
Well, Hartwick was looking Williams down the whole time, and one of the linebackers for North, and my best guesstimate would be that it was, or rather that's Kenny Alexander, the defensive end. So it must, no, it wasn't. It was Colton Floyd, who was watching the quarterback's eye, started to jump underneath it, couldn't get quite get to it. Williams tipped it up in the air. Kenny almost had an interception twice on that.
3rd down and 8, I formation. Hartwick wants to throw. He's in trouble behind the line of scrimmage and sacked way back at the 24-yard line. Coming off the pile for McKinney North is Brett Davis and Kenny Alexander.
That's a good defensive series right there. You ended up giving up 3 yards on the run, almost get an interception on 2nd down, and on 3rd down you get a sack for 4 yards. Nice job defensively for the dog pound defense.
Brandon Dunn will go back to return this punt. He'll stand at the McKinney North 45-yard line, and now we'll back up a little bit as back to punt for Forney will be Matt McEwen standing at his own 10. 8:55 left to go, second quarter. The snap's back. The punt is away. Brandon Dunn's going to catch it at the 44. Runs up left side, now straight up the middle. Passes the 45-yard line and out to the 42 in Forney territory. So another good field position game for McKinney North as they start in Forney territory at the 42-yard line.
Well, that was McEwen's second punt of the night. The first one went 27 yards from the spot of the reception on the punt return, and that one went 32. But that was a nice return for North as it went, roughly 12 yards or so.
Let's check down with John Leidy down in the field. John, did you ever have a chance to figure out what happened with those uniforms? Why'd they go back to those the new uniforms?
I'm still doing some investigating on that, but I have found out something. This Forney offensive line, defensive line is the biggest offensive line and defensive line they face. Back up to y'all, and we'll finish it after this.
All right, thanks a lot, John. It will be 1st down and 10 for McKinney North. Herbal back to pass. Wants to look over Douglas's way again. Now he finds the big tight end, Jeff Olson, who dives himself to the 31-yard line. Enough for the 1st down, and when someone that big dives, it's really something to see. Jeff Olson, who's listed as a tight end, is 6'5", 250 pounds, and I'm telling you, all of that was rolling over that 1st down marker.
Yes, it's not good to leave your feet. Again, another prime example of what happens when you do. Unless that's your intended desire to get that extra 2 yards. But he, again, almost a face-first plant.
Well, he did pick up the 1st down on the dive. Chase Barrett, running left guard, has another 1st down, crosses the 20 down to the 16-yard line. Chase Barrett is really having a nice night. And when Chase Barrett has a nice night, you got to think that Kirsten Williams, Daniel Holt, Taylor Dowdett, some of those guys are having a pretty good night themselves.
Another 14-yard, I say another, A 14-yard run there for Barrett complements his 34-yard run earlier in the game. You know, it looking good for him. 10 carries, 64 yards. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that.
North kind of started out slow on the scoreboard. They're picking it up here. Here's another handoff to Barrett, who bumps it out left side. Has a lot of room, and I believe he's in the end zone, and he is. It's touchdown time in Texas for a 17-yard touchdown for Chase Barrett, and that'll bring our score 20-3, McKinney North.
Well, make it 81 yards on 11 carries. 17-yard touchdown there, the second touchdown of the day for Barrett. You know, the offense is working again. Monty on the verge of 21 points. Right now it's only 20, pending the point after, but they've scored 110 points on the year and given up 13.
How about a 3-play, 42-yard drive?
A first down via pass, first down via run, then a touchdown run. Can't get better than that.
Again, Stephen Meyer getting a lot of leg time here early on in this season. We'll try for this extra point. And the kick is high, and it's good. 21-3, McKinney North in the lead here at Forney, Texas. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Citibank Stadium in Forney, Texas. Monty Walker along with Brendan Helms and John Leidy. And how about a 45-second drive? We talked about McKinney North and how fast they can score. Well, they do it. 3 plays, 45 yards, in 45 seconds.
That's efficiency at its finest. And the thing is that's not just a pie-in-the-sky drive. I mean, they do that almost every time.
21-3, McKinney North in the lead. Here's the kickoff by Stephen Meyer. It's going to be taken at the 5-yard line by Forney, making their way up to the 20-yard line. And on the return for Forney was once again Rodney Nelson. So 7:52 left to go in the second quarter, and McKinney North already dominating this football game.
Defense has done well, too. You know, minus that scoring drive that ended up in a field goal. Last play was a 3-and-out.
Really, the only, I guess the big play was the Peter Smith run. Other than that, take that away, and pretty much a clean first half for McKinney North's defense.
Well, the defense has a fumble recovery, 2 punts, and a field goal. You know, you like that, especially when your offense is doing what it's doing.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line for Forney with 7:52 left to go in the second quarter. Moving right to left, Hartwick and shotgun. Rolls out left side, wants to throw, has a man, and it's incomplete. Trying to hit Austin Williams on this corner pattern on the near side at the 30-yard line, but it went right through his hands, a little high possibly, but it falls incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
That would have been a tough one to get, but what Hardwick was doing, he was throwing on the run. He'd set his stance. He saw the McKinney defense coming in, and on that play in coverage was Kenny McGowan, and he was basically throwing that where his guy would get it or no one would, which means it would have to be a tough catch, but it was the best option he had. Well,
Zane Young will come near side, split out wide. Hartwick wants to throw, and he throws that screen pass out to the DeRozier once again, who catches it, makes his way up to the 25-yard line. DeRozier's been kind of quiet tonight, and here's a late flag. And we'll see who this goes against.
Well, it looks like it's going to go against 18 because before the flag was thrown, he came up and held his arms out like, whoa, what's going on?
And you're talking about Forney.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And that's Zane Young.
Well, on that play, McKinney North's defense defending it a lot better than when they ran it earlier. And we got a personal foul on McKinney.
McKinney North.
Well, right. I mean, that's interesting. Maybe Zane Young was getting up saying, hey, how come you're not doing anything? Late hit possibly. I don't know. I didn't see anything conclusive from up here. Maybe John did.
Let's check down with John Leidy. John, did you see anything that we might not have on that?
Guys, it was on that far side of the field from where I'm at. It was in a big pile. I'm not really sure what happened.
All right.
Back up to y'all.
All right, John.
It's probably along the lines of a late hit, Monty. That's the best reason I can give.
Well, the ball will be spotted now at the 42-yard line, still in Forney territory, shy of midfield. 7:36 left to go in the second quarter. McKinney North on top, 21-3. Hartwick will go under center, and he will hand off. Now he's going to fake the hand, roll out right side. Comes back to the near side, has a man wide open and overshoots him. And he was trying to hit the fullback coming out of the backfield. And that was Brandon McCarr.
The North secondary owes the defensive line a lot of gratitude on that one because they were able to put such a pressure on Hardwick that he couldn't get set properly and he couldn't look properly because if he'd have waited a second longer, he sacked. And that allowed the secondary for North to get away with one there.
Forney trying to get back in the ball game on that play. It was a great executed play.
Yeah.
He just overthrew his receiver.
Got a block.
Here's a handoff, and right there is Ruben Gonzalez, who makes a stop at the line of scrimmage, but there is a flag down. And now a flag behind the line of scrimmage, and we'll check this one.
Is it getting testy early here or what?
Tempers may be flaring as Brett Davis looks over to the sideline, and the officials are having a conference here, and the officials are out of the Dallas chapter. The referee is Bobby Dixon, the umpire Kevin Thomason, the head linesman Jeremiah Harris, the line judge Scooter Azel, and the back judge Randy Yoel. And we'll check on this one, and it's going to be a legal procedure against Forney, and that is the only. Well, no, there's a personal foul against McKinney North again, so that's a second personal foul here in the second quarter, and Coach Sean Pratt's not going to be happy with that.
I was just about to say the same.
As a matter of fact, he's walking halfway out on the field with his cap off and now put back on. And not happy campers over there on that far sideline. And John Leidy is right over there. And, John, you may be right in the middle of this and can tell us what's going on.
The referee out there just pointed the wrong way. It was actually a personal foul against the Jackrabbits. And he was just mistakenly pointed the wrong way.
And now we know why Coach Sean Pratt was all the way out there wondering what was going on, as it is a personal foul against Forney.
Here we go. Here's the official call, legal procedure.
Legal procedure.
They're marking that one off.
And this one will actually go back inside the 25, and they'll step it off from there.
And now there's the personal fouls. Okay. Well, I can understand then why the defense would be upset.
So they're marking the ball. They're actually going to spot it at the 22-yard line is where it rests right now.
Wow, so 2 penalties worth 20 yards there, and it hurts.
Timeout on the field. We'll take one, too. 7:21 left to go in the second quarter. McKinney North on top, 21-3. Welcome back to Citibank Stadium in Forney, Texas. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms and John Leidy. It is 21-3, McKinney North on top here. Some other scores to pass along that we have. Frisco Centennial and Saxe all knotted up at 7. We have Plano West over North Mesquite, 14-7. Plano over Carter, 3-0. And the last score we had from McKinney at homecoming for the Lions, 7-0 over Richardson. And that was early on in the game, so that one may actually have a different score. So we'll try to find that out for you.
And that's a team that could probably use a pretty good win to get their confidence going after what happened last week.
Yeah, McKinney could really use a win. McKinney Lions, that is.
1 and 2 is nothing to, be concerned about, especially in games that don't matter in the ultimate long run because, it's, like I've always said, it's the district games that matter. But there's something you can't repair, when the district hits and if your confidence is down.
There's something to be said about momentum going into district, that's for sure. 7:05 left to go in the second quarter here. McKinney North on top, 21-3. We're waiting for the officials to break a little conference that they had with Coach Sean Pratt.
What's going on here?
But we're about to set up shop once again as the they declined. The McKinney North Bulldogs have declined the illegal procedure.
Well, because what they wanted to do, lose the down, especially considering there's a penalty after the play that's 15 yards. So though you lose yards anyway and not get the down. That's a smart call by Pratt, and I actually overlooked that one.
So it'll be third down from the 27 for Forney. 3rd and 25 actually, and they're going to run the flea flicker up the middle, but right there, a nice play by the linebacker. I believe that's Colton Floyd. And maybe not. That might have been Rashad Robinson who came up and made that stop. What a magnificent open field tackle nonetheless.
Well, who ran that one? I didn't catch it.
It was Medlock, I believe.
Coming from his wide receiver position?
I'm almost certain. I was watching the open field tackle from the middle of the field. The flea flicker came from right up the middle, obviously, and it'll be 4th down now as doing the punting for Forney will be Matt McEwen standing at his own 15-yard line. Back deep for McKinney North is Brandon Dunn, who stands at his 37. And it's a high spiraling kick. Dunn's going to have to go back, catches it at the 27-yard line, coming his way to the near side, gets a block, but there's going to be a flag on that block as it's Kenny McGowan who came in and tried to force Forney back in the middle, but hit him a little bit in the back, I believe, and they're going to call a flag on that.
Oh, not a little bit, Monty. That's about as blatant as you can get, right in front of the official, right in front of the home fans even. And we've got a jackrabbit down. I don't. It wasn't the one McGowan hit, I don't believe.
I don't believe it is either, but there is a Forney jackrabbit down at the 26-yard line. We'll try to give you who that is momentarily. Right now, 6:02 left to go in the second quarter, 21-3, McKinney North on top. And I'm telling you what, the injured person down there.
Legal Minute, brought to you by Brian Long.
Really, he's moving his left leg, so we're hoping maybe that he just got the wind knocked out of him there.
Likely that's what it is.
All of the Forney Jackrabbits, the defenders have their helmets off and are taking a knee over there.
Yeah, if you've ever had the wind knocked out of you, the worst part of it is the mental aspect of it.
While the player is down on the field, we're going to take a quick timeout. 21-3, McKinney North in the lead. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Citibank Stadium in Forney, Texas. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms and John Leidy. And McKinney North will take over now after the penalty at their own 17-yard line. Pinned way back deep, moving left to right. 6:01 left to go here in the second quarter. McKinney North on top, 21-3. Herbal back to pass and shotgun. Actually, he's going to hand off to Barrett. Big hole up the middle, 25, up to the 30. Coming near side, 35, 40, flag down, 45. Stops at midfield and pushed back to the 49-yard line. And now a fumble on the play. Forney picks it up at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown for Forney. As they say, Chase Barrett fumbled. And on the recovery was Justin Price, the cornerback, who came up with it. And there are two flags down, one early and then one late. And we'll see what that is.
I think the second one came out at the same time. It's going to be an illegal block downfield. So likely the touchdown is going to stand. It'll be a 49-yard fumble recovery return for a touchdown.
And now Coach Pratt's going to come back out on the field. And he's going to make his way all the way over to the near sideline. I don't know if I've ever seen this.
Oh, one of his players are down.
Okay, now it makes more sense. And hopefully that's not Chase Barrett, and it is. It's Barrett down at the 49-yard line. He took a big hit just shy of midfield. He stopped to cut back towards the inside, and he took a vicious hit to the upper torso. The touchdown is going to stand for Justin Price and Forney. Wow.
Shame, too, because it was a 32-yard run. It would have been negated, so it doesn't matter.
Well, that will bring the new score 21-9, awaiting the PAT, but we have to hold up because Chase Barrett is down just shy of midfield here on the near sideline. The McKinney North Bulldogs are making their way towards that end zone for their extra point defensive team.
Well, Barrett's equaled last week's rushing total of 113. He's up and walking. Well, he's leaned over. Probably another wind knocked at him, judging by how he looks. Although, is he limping? Yeah, he's limping. So I don't know. No, he looks fine.
Limping a little bit. It could be a cramp. He's pointing towards the lower part of his left leg, but he's walking okay.
Now, sometimes when you get the wind knocked out of you, you bend over like that too, so it's tough to say. Regardless, he's walking under his own power.
So the extra point team will come on here for Forney, as it's 21-9 right now, and what looked like a blowout, or what was going to be a blowout.
They had the early makings.
All of a sudden, could be 21-10 here after this extra point.
Well, the good news is it's a defensive score. Your offense is going to get right back on the field immediately. No time to think about that one. Just get back out and let's run it again. And we'll be able to tell just how quickly or just how hurt Barrett is. If he's out there on the next one, you know he's okay.
Well, Thomas Moreland will come on for the extra point. With 5:38 left to go in the second quarter, McKinney North on top momentarily, 21-9. It could be 21-10 in just a second. As the snap is back, it's on the tee. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 21-10. McKinney North in the lead. 5:38 left to go in the second quarter. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Citibank Stadium in Forney, Texas. McKinney North on top of Forney, 21-10 with 5:38 left to go in the second quarter. It was kind of a crazy play moments ago as Chase Barrett had a very long run.
32 yards.
Out to midfield, just shy of midfield. Took a vicious hit, fumbled the ball, and Justin Price for Forney picked it up and scampered 49 yards into the end zone for Forney's first touchdown of the night.
Well, the news is, and I don't want to say good news because they ended up fumbling, but because they fumbled and Forney was able to recover that one, the yards count for Barrett, so he's up over 113. And the problem is, because of that, though, they spotted a touchdown to Forney. So like I said, the news is.
The kick is up. It's going to be out of bounds for Forney, so good news for McKinney North as it came near side down to about the 5-yard line, but instead of going into the end zone like Stephen Myers did to open the game for McKinney North, it actually went out of bounds, and that's a penalty. So they'll re-kick.
Likely. Sometimes you'll take it at the 30-35, but.
Sean Pratt elects to have them re-kick on this one. So they'll move them back. Again, 21-10. McKinney North in the lead here. Other scores to pass along. Denton Ryan over Arlington Bowie, 21-14. Again, Frisco Centennial and Saxe tied up at 7. Plano West over North Mesquite, 14-7. Plano over Carter, 3-0. And the last score we had from McKinney was 7-0, the Lions on top of Richardson. Again, that was early on. 5:38 here in the second quarter, 21-10. McKinney North in the lead. And I love this open air. This is something that we don't see a lot. And we're normally stuck in press boxes with. We do have air conditioners, however, but a nice night out here tonight. Here's the second kickoff for Forney. It's going to be taken this time by McKinney North. And on the return for North is Kenny McGowan, and he's got a big hole right up the middle. Fights his way out of a tackle at the 40, up to the 45-yard line, and that's where they'll spot him just past the 45 to the 46. So a huge return by Kenny McGowan with 5:28 left to go in the second quarter.
Had he been a little bit more patient on the blocks, which is a tough thing to do when you're running full speed, one of the guy who made him spin out there on the far sideline wouldn't have been able to make him spin out, and might have allowed him just to go through the hole untouched and up onto the end zone. However, since he spun, that allowed the pursuit of Peter Smith coming from behind to bring him down. But you know what? You'll take starting at the 46 every chance you can get.
Blake Mooney and David Douglas split out wide. And Herbal wants to throw, and he has Douglas on that inside route, crosses the 50 into Forney territory at the 49-yard line, and we'll check. And I believe it was Charles Cole into the game at tailback, and it is. Chase Barrett is on the sidelines for this series anyway, and we'll check down with John Leidy and see if he has an update on Chase Barrett after this play. 5:04 in the second quarter, 21-10, North on top. Two receivers to the near side, one to the far side is David Douglas, shotgun formation, and that is Charles Cole in the backfield. And they're going to hand off to him, running left tackle, big hole out to the 45, down to the 40, look out, 35, down to the 30, inside the 30 to the 28-yard line, and Charles Cole takes over where Chase Barrett left off with a big run there at first down and 10 to the 28.
Started just inside the territory of Forney at the 49, was able to push it down to give them the extra half yard there down to the 28. And you like the 21-yard runs when you can, especially when they're penalty-free, obviously. There's a simple off-tackle play to the left side, and blocked very well by the offensive line.
It's going to be a handoff once again coming to this side, to the right side. Charles Cole, he snuck his way through the line of scrimmage and got out to the 22-yard line, and they'll spot him now at the 21. So, another big 7-yard gain by Cole there. Cole is a much bigger runner than Chase Barrett. He's 5'9", which actually is an inch shorter, but He's 200 pounds, which is about 10 pounds heavier.
And the thing is, he's also a junior.
True.
So he adds to that kind of the 1-2 punch, but this is a guy who, at least at this, you don't want to think about it, but it'll be your starter in next year. So it's a good game time experience.
Herbal wants to throw left side under pressure, throws it up, and he is intercepted by Justin Price at the 5-yard line. Price makes a move. He's got the far sideline up to the 20, 25, and down at the 40-yard line as Price has had a tremendous second quarter here. He picked up a fumble, ran it back, picked up an interception, and almost ran that one back up to the 40-yard line. And I'll tell you what, Herbal for the first time had a pass that looked way off target.
What it was supposed to be was a flag down into the far corner of the end zone. I don't know if there's a corner, if it was initially to the front part of the end zone. That's where the ball was. But as Herbal's target was his favorite receiver to this point, David Douglas. He just underthrew him a little bit. Douglas couldn't adjust in time because he was still in the pattern and looking straight. By the time he looked up, it was too late when he saw it was underthrown. Price is playing center field for the interception.
They'll spot the ball at the 32-yard line for Forney, moving right to left. Handoff, nowhere to go and nothing doing for Andre DeRozier as he'll lose yards on that carry, and they'll back him up to the 31-yard line, 30 actually. So a nice job by that defensive front, Brett Davis and company.
So far, holding DeRozier in check. He's only got 12 carries now on 6 carries on 12 yards.
And now coming into the game is Peter Smith, and look out, Peter Smith has been the lightning running back so far for Forney.
Well, if you want the specifics, 5 carries, 73 yards.
I formation. Hartwick will go under center, handoff. Peter Smith fumble at the line of scrimmage. Another helmet flies off. But I believe Smith was able to get back on his fumble there, and it'll be third down for Forney, as Ruben Gonzalez is going to have to go to the training room and figure out how he can keep his helmet on. That's the second time it's flown off.
Tighten that 10 strap up. Well, that's going to be a loss of 2 for Smith. Now his last 2 carries have lost some yards. And now it's a third and long situation for Forney, and if the McKinney North defense can still play this well, he'll be in good shape.
JT Cates will come out near side, split out wide. We have whistles blowing before the
play clock wasn't running.
2:25 and rolling here in the second quarter. McKinney North on top, 21-10. Receivers on either side. Hartwick shotgun formation, rolls out right side. Wants to throw back to this near side. He has DeRozier. It's caught at the 30. Makes his way up to the 35 and knocked down end over end by Kenny McGowan up at the 39-yard line. Not enough for the first down, so it'll be punt time for Forney with 1:59 left to go before half.
Well-run play. DeRozier started to the far side, and then that's basically where the offense was rolling to. Then DeRozier cut by the offensive line back to the near side and was wide open. But when you're facing a 4th and 14, that's a nice play. It'll get you 10 yards. But you ended up short anyway, and it was a great open field tackle that allowed that to happen.
Well, I think you got to give Kenny McGowan a lot of credit there with that open field tackle. That could have been a game-changing swing right there if Forney could have scored right here before half. There's a timeout on the field. We'll take one, too. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Citibank Stadium in Forney, Texas. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms and John Leidy. A minute 30 before the half, 21-10, McKinney North in the lead. It was all McKinney North early on, but Forney has somehow snuck back into this football game, and the big reason is because of that fumble return. McEwen punts this one away, and Brandon Dunn's going to watch it bounce. He decides not to pick it up, and it's going to roll inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So a $1:21 left to go before the half. McKinney North will take over, moving left to right, 88 yards away from pay dirt.
Best punt of the night for McEwen is 43 yards on his third punt. He's gotten slowly better. Started out 27, then went to 32, and that one went to 43. It was a wise idea for Dunn not to field that one, because had he done so, he would have been immediately thrown to the ground. There were 3 black shirts in front of him.
We're going to mark the ball actually at the 19-yard line starting out. So McKinney North will come out. Blake Mooney split wide right. 2 receivers to the left side, including David Douglas split out wide left. Herbal Back to pass, looking right side, rolls right, now throws, has his man, and now Blake Mooney drops it at the 35-yard line. Looked like he hit it in the breadbasket, but was hit about the same time that the ball made contact with him, and the ball met the turf right at the 30. Would have been enough for a first down, but it'll be 2nd and 10 with 1:16 left to go before half.
You're not sure what happened on that play, but it looked like there might have been some good defense too. Sometimes when the ball and the defender get there at the same time, speaking as a former receiver, it can be difficult to reel that one in.
Chase Barrett back into the game for McKinney North. Herbal drops back, 2 steps, wants to throw right side, has his man caught, Blake Mooney at the 32-yard line. This time he didn't let it get away from him. He makes the catch, rolls right out of bounds. Nice clock management, and they'll move the sticks. 1:11 left to go in the second quarter. McKinney North on top, 21-10.
Simple 13-yard pass now puts Eric Herbal at 100 yards passing for the day. And it puts Blake Mooney out 2 receptions for 17 yards.
Chase Barrett will move to the left side. Rolling left as Herbal wants to throw towards that out-of-bounds marker, and David Douglas fell down.
Yeah, incidental contact between him and the defender. What he was going to do was Douglas was going to sell the going down the field and immediately cut. It's a timing route more than anything else because the ball has to be in air for that cut to work, and he was, but as he was making his cut, he got tangled up with the defender and fell to the ground.
McKinney North on the right hash, moving left to right. Has Herbal in shotgun, 2 receivers left side. Herbal wants to throw right side, has his man, and it's caught by the big tight end, Jeff Olson, who slides out of bounds, but he actually his knee touched before he got to the out-of-bounds marker. So the clock will roll here, under 50 seconds now. It'll be 3rd down and about 4. Herbal wants to throw left side. Inside, throws to Douglas, flag down, caught at the 45-yard line and out of bounds.
That should be the flag. There it goes.
And that's going to, yeah, you're right, Brandon. That was, it's going to be a late hit out of bounds as one of the Jackrabbits really flung him out.
Sometimes as a defender you get overzealous because, like, in that situation, he grabbed him while he was in the field of play. And you know you want to make the tackle versus having him run out of bounds. And he was also trying to keep him from going out of bounds. But once he goes out of bounds, you have to let up. He didn't let up, threw him to the ground. Penalty obvious.
38 seconds
and
are
I don't
on
know if he's up.
38 seconds are on the clock here.
Yeah, he's up. Never mind.
And we'll check down with John Lighty. John, are you able to see what's going on over there?
Yes, so there was actually 2 penalties on the play. There was a holding on the offense, and in the defense also had a penalty with the late hit out of bounds. He just slung him down out of bounds, kind of hurt the Jackrabbits' chances on that. Back up to y'all.
Well, that's going to be a dead ball foul, so both penalties should go. But I believe on the personal foul, it's an automatic first down anyway.
We'll see where the officials decide to spot the ball. Kenny McGowan comes into the football game, and he will play the slot receiver on the right side. Also into the game, Alex Parker. And split out wide right is Blake Mooney.
And here's what the officials have to sort through, because as soon as Douglas steps out of bounds, the play is over. But because he was flung to the ground after the play, the penalty's offset when they're within the same play. So likely what's going to happen, they're going to march the 10 yards off for the holding and then march the 15 yards off for the personal foul. And I believe that, again, I'm not 100% on that, but I believe that's a first down anyway, so both penalties will stand.
They are moving the stick, so it will be a first down. 38 seconds left to go in the second quarter. And McKinney North will have the ball at their own 46-yard line. And look out here, 5 receivers set for McKinney North. 3 to the right side, which includes Kenny McGowan and Alex Parker. And 2 receivers to the left. Herbal wants to throw right side. Has Parker. It's caught at the 48. Trying to find his way out of bounds and can't do it. Flag down at the 48-yard line. And this is getting to be pretty sloppy.
Yeah. I mean, these aren't undeserved penalties either.
The flag is laying right. It was thrown right at the 48-yard line, right at Parker when he caught the ball. Tried to make his way towards this near side out of bounds mark. 30 seconds are still left on the clock. And folks, we're still in the second quarter, and this is a very, very long second quarter as compared to other games that are at half. McKinney is over Richardson 10-0 at the half.
That's a 5-yard face mask on Forney, and they're ready to march this one up and ready to go.
Carter over Plano at half, 7-3. here we are, 28 seconds, 27 now. Herbal drops straight back, wants to pass, throwing the home run ball down the middle, has a man wide open, Kenny McGowan, and it is intercepted by Forney once again. The Jackrabbits come up with it, and on the interception is Rodney Nelson, the safety. Or is that Josh Hughes?
Well, we've got a flag on the play. Let's see what we got. Holding McKinney, obvious decline. Well, right now, McKinney North seems to be their own worst enemy. They've turned the ball over now. This is for the third time, and this is only in the first half. Keep in mind, coming into the game, Eric Herbal hadn't thrown one interception. I mean, again, it's just 2 games to choose from, but he's already thrown 2 here tonight. And at the end of the half like that, you know, that kills your chance for scoring again unless the defense can get a turnover of their own. There's 20 seconds left to go until halftime.
Well, 20 seconds, as you mentioned, before the half, 21-10, McKinney North on top. And Forney will take over here. Hartwick under center is going to hand off Peter Smith, and he is buried behind the line of scrimmage. A great play by Rashad Robinson.
Actually, I don't think it's going to be a play. I don't think it's going to be. There's going to be a dead ball penalty before the play gets underway.
There was a flag thrown right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and the whistles were blowing while the play was in action.
Right now, the clock showing 16 seconds. It's 1st and 10,
Yeah,
and
dead
there's
ball.
a illegal procedure against Forney. So,
Well, that'll put him back half the distance to the goal.
and the ball will be spotted at about the 3-yard line. We'll call it the 4.
9 penalties, 51 yards for Forney at this point. Well, it's been anything but clean. Actually, that's only going to be 4, so make it an even 50 yards.
So Hartwick will go under center here. 16 seconds on the clock. DeRozier in the backfield in I formation. He gets the hand, running right guard, and is brought down by Jeff Olson, the defensive tackle. So that'll probably be the end of the first half as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is the end of the first half. 21-10, McKinney North on top. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Citibank Stadium in Forney, Texas. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. 21-10, McKinney North in the lead in a very, very long football game tonight. The first half took forever, seemed like.
Well, more likely the second quarter.
That's true.
The first quarter wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't quick by any stretch, but it wasn't too long. But the second quarter, a lot of penalties, a lot of turnovers, and whenever that happens, you know, there's a good chance that the game will stretch out.
It is loud here at Citibank Stadium in Forney. A nice facility. However, you'd think that they'd have a press room for radio guys, but
Well, they do. They just have one small one.
but it is kind of nice being out in the open air. You don't get that a whole lot. I did a game one time from Pleasant Grove Stadium, the only time I've ever done a game in the stands. I believe it was Dallas Samuel and Denison years ago. And I also did a game at Disney's Worldwide Sports Complex there at Orlando, Florida, when Denison played a North Carolina team there. And that was out on a scaffold up high and in the outdoors. But I think this is the 3rd time I've actually been outdoors to do a game. But this one is a lot nicer.
It's kind of nice to be on a film deck. You know, it just fit. Weather plays a lot to do with it, but a lot of it has to do with you kind of get more of the football atmosphere in here.
McKinney North making their way back out on the field. John Leidy down on the sidelines. John, talk about the mood and the atmosphere of McKinney North right now. Talk about how they are coming out of the locker room.
Guys entering the halftime, they actually, surprisingly, after the 2 interceptions and the fumble, were very pumped up. It actually made them mad. It angered them. We'll have to see how that plays out here in the second half. They're still very pumped up as they came out. Back up to y'all.
All right, thanks, John. A very fiery squad from McKinney North. Up 21-10 here in the second half. And back deep to return the kick will be Kenny McGowan and David Douglas standing at right about the 10-yard line. Both of them right about the 10. Forney's kick team has not made it on the field yet, and here they come. Thomas Moreland, who was true from 20 yards out on his only field goal attempt tonight, will come out and kick this one off. Again, 21-10, McKinney North in the lead, and about to get the football here to start the second half. Scores to pass along. McKinney 10-0 over Richardson. That was at the half. Frisco Centennial over Saxe 20-7. That one also at the half. Plano West and North Mesquite 21 all nighted up. And that one also at the half. 21-10 here, McKinney North in the lead. And Forney just about ready to kick this one off. Moving left to right will be McKinney North. It's a high pooch kick going to be taken by an up man from McKinney North, and that's going to be Brandon Dunn. And he'll make a couple of guys miss before he makes his way out to the 34-yard line, and that's where McKinney North will set up shop.
Again, the advantages of the pooch kick, a simple return there, even though Dunn, did what he could, made a couple guys miss, but because they're angling in a direction that allows the return team to concentrate on that, whereas if you kick it deep, the returner has the option to go left, right, or up the middle.
5 ticks went off the clock for the kickoff, so 11:55 here to go. In the third quarter, McKinney North making their way out onto the offensive side of the football field. The Forney Jackrabbits in their all-black attire, outlined in some yellow gold. It's not gold, but it is that old yellow gold. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Herbal in shotgun formation. Chase Barrett will stand just to his left. Jeff Olson will stand in his slot back / tight end position. And now on the very first play, right after the half, Eric Herbal has to call a timeout.
It looks like there was some confusion between the sidelines, because what they do, North will roll up in a formation. Herbal will look to the sidelines and get the call from Pratt. And he was just sitting there looking, and I'm wondering if there was some confusion between the two. I'm not wondering. There was confusion between the two as Herbal wasn't understanding the call.
Well, obviously, coming out of the half, you'd like to have more of a preparation.
That's the frustrating
than having to call timeout before you get a playoff. But still, this is week 3. Obviously, those things won't happen later on once you get into district, or you would hope that they wouldn't.
This is exactly what non-district is all about, working these type of kinks out so you can do what you can, because the district games will determine your playoff fate. You can go undefeated in non-district and winless in district, and it doesn't matter.
Blake Mooney split out wide right. It'll be Aaron Fuller in the slot, and David Douglas split out wide left. Barrett, they will send Ashley Herbal will send Olson in motion, handoff Barrett left tackle, and has a man right behind the line of scrimmage around his feet, and it'll actually be about a yard loss on the play as it back him up to the 33-yard line.
Supposed to be an off-tackle run to the left, but good interior penetration, and then it was down to an ankle tackle to get Barrett, and he's actually going to get credited for no gain as he was able to fall forward for that extra yard, but almost a loss on the very first play after you call the timeout coming out of the halftime.
Very lackluster so far coming out here in the second half. Herbal in shotgun. He drops back 2 steps, wants to throw to Douglas, fires it over there at the first down marker and has it at the 45. Douglas trying to make his way out of bounds, but can't do it. He stopped and tackled before he could get out of bounds. Clock will roll. 21-10. McKinney North in the lead, and with a new fresh set of downs here, just shy of midfield.
Nice little 14-yard gain there. The first pass out of the half is a completion. You got to like that if you're a North fan.
Just when they look a little down, you think, well, that's what North does. They have Eric Herbal, who can pretty much pick apart a defense. He's going to fake the hand. Now he gives it to Barrett. Left side, big hole initially. Now he has a bigger hole, 40, 35. And Chase Barrett is somehow squirming his way down to the 26-yard line. I could have sworn he was going to go down at the 36, but somehow kept his feet moving and scrambled another 10 yards before finally going down at the 26 and actually caught the 27-yard line.
He's listed at 5'10", 190, but he's pretty fast, and he's also has a little muscle in the legs. And that's very reminiscent of the Emmitt Smith. He's not super speedy. He's going to get run down a lot, but he has enough to get into the open field, and then once contact's made, just move forward.
2 receivers to the right this time, 1 to the left. Herbal in shotgun. Barrett stands behind him and a little bit to the left. Herbal wants to throw left side, looking for Douglas over there. Making his way down in the end zone. A flag down. He overthrew Douglas a little bit, but might be because his jersey was grabbed a little bit. And in coverage was Josh Hughes for Forney, but I believe he grabbed the number 18 on his back, and that held him up a little bit.
That's exactly what it was, Monty. That's why it looks uncatchable. You're taught as a defender, if you get beat, there's no such thing as a bad pass interference call. Of course, the trick is not to get beat, but.
Well, 10-19 left to go here in the third quarter. In a slow-moving game.
Well, not even 2 minutes have gone by in this one.
And that's what happens when you get a team like North who likes to throw the ball a lot.
Well, it's been the 10 penalties on Forney that hasn't helped either.
And we've had some injuries that have taken some time also. But it'll be 1st and 10 for McKinney North from the 13-yard line. 2 receivers to the near side, handoff Barrett and up. Herbal's going to keep it, and he's in trouble behind the line of scrimmage, and that'll go for a sack officially back to the 16-yard line. I believe they just faked the counter, and Herbal was going to keep it around the left side, but Forney had that one sniffed out.
Yeah, Tyler Sanders not faked out at all by the deceptive fake to Barrett, who was supposed to go to his right. Herbal was supposed to go to the left, but Sanders there stopped it beautifully. Officially going to be a loss of 5 on the play.
Once again, Douglas and Mooney split out. Herbal drops back, wants to pass, looking at Douglas again. Now he looks right side, throws it down in the end zone, on the right side of the end zone, and overthrows his man. And that was Aaron Fuller in the right side of the end zone, just overthrew him a little bit.
You know, I like to defend the receivers, but Fuller basically kind of quit on that play. It almost looked like he thought it was going to be intercepted, so he stopped his route. Had he continued to run the route, that would have been a perfect pass by Herbal. And you know me, I'll defend the receiver more than I will defend the quarterback.
And you might give it maybe this play is a factor. Aaron Fuller is one of the smallest receivers that Eric Herbal has. He's used to throwing to 6-foot receivers. Here is Herbal throwing left side once again. David Douglas uncharacteristically drops it at the 1-yard line. He had it in traffic, but it goes right through his hands. That would have been close and probably would have been a first down. But it goes for naught here, and it'll be 4th down for McKinney North. And I believe they'll send Stephen Meyer out to try a field goal here.
Yeah, on that last play, Douglas was hit as he was receiving the ball, and it's tough to hang on when you have Black on your front and back. But more often than not, he'll hang on to that one.
So officially a 33-yard field goal try for Stephen Meyer. The snap is back. It's on the tee. Kenny McGowan puts it down. It's a short kick, but I think it's going to go through, and it does.
Had enough height.
24-10, our new score. 9:28 left to go in the third quarter. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Citibank Stadium. Forney, Texas. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms and Johnny B. Good Lighty on the sidelines. 24-10, our new score. McKinney North on top, and they faked the quail onside once again. 8 plays, 50 yards on the drive. Took 2 minutes and 32 seconds off the clock. Capped off by a 33-yard field goal by Stephen Meyer. And I think McKinney North Bulldog fans got to be happy with Stephen Meyer replacing Blake Boblitz. He's been pretty much perfect so far. Here's the high kick, and it's going to be taken by Josh Hughes again, trying to find that right outside corner. And he makes his way out to the 24-yard line before being tackled on that far sideline by Michael Scott for McKinney North. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Forney, moving right to left.
Not the best kick on the night for Meyer, but because it was higher rather than it's been longer, it allowed the return team to get down there and then forced Forney to stretch it out east-west rather than going north-south. And, you know, you look at it now, they're starting at the 22-yard line, so it's a good starting field position for the North defense based on the high kick.
2 receivers to the near side. And this is going to be a fumble on the play. DeRozier had to just jump back on it. It was the quarterback, Hartwick, who turned around, pitched it back to DeRozier, but it went right through his arms. DeRozier finally saw that he didn't have it, turned around and just jumped on the ball very wisely.
Oh, and an odd-looking play, too. And now both teams struggling with their first play coming out of the half.
You normally don't see the quarterback turn around and just pitch it to his running back, who was running straight up the middle. Normally you see that on a toss, but not coming straight up the middle. An interesting play by the Forney Jackrabbits on that one. 8:43 here to go in the third quarter. Hartwick drops back, looks over to the swing pass, and it may be intercepted. A great play. It is not. A great play by Kenny Alexander, the defensive end, who came out in coverage on the running back DeRozier and almost picked off the screen pass.
Yeah, they got bit early by that play when DeRozier ran it in the first quarter for 11. Next time it was better defended, and he got 10 out of it. And this time it was very well defended. Not at all being McKinney North not at all bitten by the fake on that one.
Kenny McGowan will check out. Kyle Dancy will check in at cornerback on the near side, right side, as Forney is moving right to left. They're on the far hash mark. Shotgun formation for Hartwick, the quarterback. And he wants to throw, rolling right side. Under pressure, eludes traffic, throwing on the run, and it's incomplete as he threw it back at the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th down, and what an ugly series for Forney.
Or is it a better defensive series for the North Bulldogs?
Either way you look at it, Forney didn't do much, and McKinney North came away looking good.
The first play you mark against Forney, that's just a bad deal. Whenever you pitch it, you got to get it. So there's miscommunication there, so that's a bad play for Forney. The next play was a better defended play by North, and I would say that one was because they forced Hardwick to stretch it out toward the sideline without any receivers open downfield, forcing the throw.
McEwen will stand at his own end zone at the 1 yard line, actually, to punt this one away. It's a high snap, goes up and gets it, punts it away, and an end over end short kick's going to bounce at the 40, actually touch it's Peter Smith who it touched, and he's going to actually down it at the 42 yard line. Brandon Dunn had the ball bounce about 10 yards in front of him. No chance to pick that one up.
No, and you wouldn't want to. You're inside their 40-yard line now. It's good opening, or rather second possession start for the Bulldogs. You can see what they can do with it.
And they're actually going to mark it at the 39 where Peter Smith initially touched the ball. So even better field position for McKinney North starting out here. And I think if you're McKinney North, you got to feel like if you can punch it in right here with a touchdown, you can pretty much seal this game away.
Well, the way their defense has been playing in this game and how they've been playing all year, you like what you've seen. You think even at 24 points, they're going to be hard pressed to score 2 touchdowns.
Mooney and Douglas split out wide. Handoff, Chase Barrett, left tackle, has 4 jackrabbits on him, but he's going to gain 2 yards in the process of trying to shuck those guys off of him. He's out to the 38-yard line.
Monty, I want to illustrate on that play just how quickly Chase finds that hole. Again, that not a big play there, just 2 yards, but he was 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage looking for that hole, saw it, and quickly darted through. And there were Forney Jackrabbit defenders there that were ready to stop, and he still was able to get 4 yards on that burst.
This is going to be Barrett once again, running left tackle again, cuts it inside up to the 35-yard line. Another gain of about 2. 7:38 left to go on the third quarter clock, 24-10, McKinney North in the lead. We talk about Barrett's vision, and we talked about that before. He has great peripheral vision to see the open hole, and kind of like Eddie Morgan for McKinney. We've seen that Morgan has that same type of vision, that he can really find that big open hole, and Barrett seems to have that as well.
And he had that last year. We've commented on that for a couple of years now. He's a really good running back. 3rd
and 6 for McKinney North, moving left to right. 7:08 left to go, third quarter. Low snap. Herbal picks it up, throws it out to Mooney. It's caught for a first down to the 20, down to the 16-yard line. Blake Mooney is having a tremendous first half of the season, and this is a guy who's a basketball player who just decided to play football this year.
Who hadn't done that before? Nice little gain there. It's going to be in the 20 range.
I believe it's a 19-yard pickup officially for Blake Mooney. And Eric Herbal and Mooney, and his tandem with Mooney and Douglas and hitting those out patterns, Herbal just seems almost flawless on those plays. The only time Herbal's been in trouble is when he throws the home run ball down the middle. And here's Barrett running right tackle this time, scooting his way, crosses the 15, down to the 14-yard line. Another 2-yard gain. But Barrett still getting plus yards every time he touches the ball.
And now they're starting to run that ball control style offense. They ran 8 plays the drive prior on their field goal, took a little over 2.5 minutes off the clock. And now they're starting to dwindle it down. We're halfway through the third quarter, and they're just starting to churn out the yards and keep that clock rolling. And that's exactly what you want to do up 14 and your offense driving.
And the clock is rolling. 6:07 here in the third quarter. Herbal shotgun, drops back, looking right side, in trouble, flushed out of the pocket. He decides to tuck it, and somehow gets back up to the line of scrimmage. And he might have even gained a yard. It's going to be very close to to the line of scrimmage, and you got to give Herbal a lot of credit there. He knew he was in trouble, and it's really the only time he's been in trouble behind the line of scrimmage all night long. So that you have to say something about the offensive line there. But he did step up and was able to make it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he's been under pressure only a couple times, one sack, but he always has a good vision, knows when to throw it, knows when to run it, just like we saw in that play.
Herbal throws to Douglas across the left side. Douglas turns back outside, and he's going to have a first down, but it was just a matter of whether he was going to be able to turn and get in the end zone. Down at the 5-yard line is where they'll spot it. So a nice pass and catch from Herbal to Douglas. It'll be first and goal from the 5. Again, moving left to right. 5:26 left to go, third quarter. McKinney North on top, 24-10.
Not sure what exactly happened there for the Forney Jackrabbits, but they had Douglas in a tackle and basically spun move out of it as if they didn't hold him. They were just blocking him.
Tight formation for McKinney North. Chase Barrett strolls into the end zone on the left tackle. It's touchdown time in Texas, and will that seal the deal?
You'd think the way the defense is playing, that's a comfort score. Insurance score to say the least. Nice little 5-yard touchdown run again. Not anything out of the ordinary. Simple off tackle play to the left. Barrett's just able to find the holes. His line sets him up very well. And he's in for a nice 5-yard touchdown and gives him his third touchdown on the night. He's already rushed for 139 yards.
Well, Stephen Meyer back for the extra point. 5:10 left to go in the third quarter. The hold's down by McGowan, and the kick is very high. And this one is good, 31-10. McKinney North in the lead. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK.
Decisions and seek good counsel.
All right.
This has been Family Legal Minute.
It's odd advice in a football game, but okay.
That was strange. That was for John. Hey, John, you got anything for us?
Or call their
You
McKinney
live?
offices at
Yeah, that
972
I
529
can't say that.
55.
Excitement from the first half has carried
All right.
over to the
Exuberance.
Welcome back to Citibank Stadium. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. We're in Forney, Texas tonight, where McKinney North is on top 31-10 with 5:10 left to go in the third quarter. John Leidy down on the sidelines. John, there's got to be some excitement down there on your end of the field.
Yes, sir. That excitement from the first half has actually carried over into the second half as the Bulldogs have quickly put 10 points on the board. Back up to y'all.
All right, John, thanks a lot. 31-10, you're right. McKinney North in the lead. Here's Stephen Meyer's kickoff. It's going to be high, and it's going to be taken about the 10-yard line. That's Josh Hughes once again, and he's going to make his way up to the 24-yard line before being brought down.
Well, he squirted out of that pile up to the 35. I don't know what happened, but some North returners weren't able to get a hand on him. There was a pile here. The kicker, Meyer, had to make the save.
Another helmet goes flying off, and this time is not Ruben Gonzalez, but it is Michael Scott's helmet who comes off.
So the helmet count now up to 3.
Up to three helmets
The
flying
helmets
off.
are off.
Hats off to McKinney North.
Oh, come on. You're better than that.
5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. 31-10, McKinney North in the lead. Forney with a 1st and 10. And they're going to hand off up the middle, and that's DeRozier, who makes his way out to the 40-yard line from the 39. So a nice run there. That's probably one of the longest runs DeRozier's had all night long.
Officially his longest one. I'm looking over the chart. 4 yards, yeah. No, it's 7. He ran off a 7-yard at first. So that's 6. The second longest run of the night gives him 14 yards on the game.
So from the 40-yard line, it'll be 2nd down and 4. 4:26 on the third quarter clock. Hartwick goes under center, and he's going to toss right side. This is going to be the reverse. He tosses it over to Medlock coming near side, and Medlock has the 45 and bumped down hard by Kyle Dancy, the cornerback who comes over. And I apologize, it's not Medlock who got that toss coming around. It was actually Chad Lowry coming over from his wide receiver position who was split out wide right. Basically, DeRozier got the toss going right side, and you could see it setting up perfectly as Lowry came over, and DeRozier just basically handed him the ball. Lowry came all the way from the far side to the near side and was popped by Dancy.
Yeah, when the defensive end gets fooled on that play, it's up to the cornerback to save it, and that's what Dancy did. Only a first down.
It was good enough for a first. Here's DeRozier in a big play. That's not DeRozier, that's Peter Smith. up to the 42-yard line. Another first down for Forney, and uh-oh. And I tell you what, every time a running back goes scooting through that defensive line of McKinney North, you've got to think it's Peter Smith. He's had the only success because DeRozier, who came into the game ranked 16th in the area in rushing with 216 yards, but it's been Peter Smith tonight.
7 carries, 85 yards.
And he is 8 yards deep behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to get the hand here, running left tackle, big hole, 40, 35, 30, look out, 25, down at the 23-yard line, tackled by Brandon Dunn. But I'm telling you what, when Peter Smith has the ball, you think he's Barry Sanders or something.
Well, they're good blocking there. I think the difference is DeRozier's a punishing back, and this defense not one that you could punish very well. And so the best way to beat him was with speed and quickness, and that's what Smith brings. He's able to hit the hole a lot faster than DeRozier does.
He is very quick, and he will stand in the I formation. Again, 8 yards off the ball. Has a blocker in front of him, the fullback, and Hartwick is not in the game. It's a new quarterback, and Peter Smith for the first time is trapped behind the line of scrimmage and is going to be taken for a loss. Chris Arterberry is the new quarterback in, 5'10", 175-pound junior. No word from Hartwick. We don't see him. Well, he is down on the sidelines. He's not limping. No, just looks like he's taking a breather here on the sidelines. But Arterberry, the 5'10", 175-pound junior, in the game here along with Peter Smith.
Yeah, Hardwick's hat is on, which is an indication he's okay.
Also in the game, Chad Lowry again, split out wide right. And this is a double tight set for Forney, moving right to left in McKinney North territory, and flags blow, or whistles blow before the play could start. And Brandon?
Delay game. That's what happens when you bring in a new quarterback and a guy who's not as experienced as your starter. You have a certain set of time, every set of downs to get it in. They didn't do it. They were just about to. But when the play clock hit 0, automatic 5, now the 11th penalty on the night for Forney. They're getting close to 100 yards. They're now at 70 with a full quarter and 2 minutes left to play.
Ball will rest at the 27-yard line. This is going to be a handoff once again. That's DeRozier back in the game, and he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Fumble on the play. McKinney North has it. It's just a matter of whether he was down or not.
He is.
And they're going to say he was down. On the stop for McKinney North, Ryan Selby-Carney came up and made a nice tackle right at the line of scrimmage on DeRozier. Forced the fumble, but they're going to say he was down.
Well, ground can't cause a fumble. And what happened, Carney just busted through the line, wrapped up DeRozier around the waist and spun him down. And as he was spun him down, the contact with the ground caused the ball to pop loose.
Arterberry still in the game at quarterback for Forney. 1:34 left to go, third quarter. 2 men to the left side and 1 man split out wide right. Justin Price split out wide right, and if he gets a touchdown here, he's the player of the week. And another whistle will blow, and I believe that's delay of game again on Forney. So Forney has a lot of backups in right now. They don't have their starting 11 on offense in the football game right now, and it's obviously showing because a lot of mistakes are being made.
Well, they have some starters, but not the full complement they normally would. But that goes back down to quarterback play. He was surveying the defense just a bit too long, and again, that's what happens when you have a youthful, inexperienced quarterback in who needs a little bit more time to read than the starter would. And classic example.
$1.05 on and rolling here in the third quarter. A low snap, and Arterberry just has to fall on it. And again, this second group of Forney Jackrabbits on offense just really look like they're struggling out there. And who knows, a lot of that may be because of the McKinney North defense and what they've been doing up front.
Well, a snap like that's not what the defense is doing. It's a drag. The center's a little jerky than he normally would be.
And that
that's one thing.
That could be because of the pressure that he's getting up front from Brett Davis. And
but it all starts with the snap, and there's nothing McKinney North can do to make Forney snap the ball improperly.
McEwen stands at his own 48-yard line. He's going to punt this one away. Another high snap. He's going to punt it. Brandon Dunn stands at his own 10, calls for the fair catch, and catches it at the 16-yard line. So probably the worst field position that McKinney North has started out with so far in this game. With 13 seconds left to go in the third quarter, McKinney North on top, 31-10.
Well, you mentioned the worst field position for McKinney. It's also the worst punt of the night for McEwen. He only booted that one 21 yards. He didn't have a whole lot to work with, though.
You know, some scores to pass along. This one, Carter and Plano. Carter on top, 14-3, and that has some relevance in this game because both coaches, Kevin Rush and Sean Pratt, both Plano graduates, and both actually won state championships at Plano, but on separate teams. Kevin Rush was on the 77 state championship team of Plano, and Sean Pratt on the 86 state championship team in Plano. Both Wildcats, both know each other, and had both had good words to say about each other before the game. Shotgun formation, handoff to Chase Barrett up the middle, bullying his way out to the 20-yard line. A gain of about 3, maybe 3.5. It'll be second down, and that will be the end of the third quarter, as it is. Fourth quarter time in Texas, 31-10. McKinney North on top. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Citibank Stadium in Forney, Texas. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms. Johnny Be Good Lighty.
You're better than that, too.
John Cougar Lighty.
I'll accept that.
Herbal back to pass. Nope, he's going to hand off again to Barrett. Big hole up the middle, crosses the 29 to the 31-yard line. And that'll move the sticks once again. And Barrett seems like the Barrett of old here.
Well, I'm not sure what happened. It looked like players from both sides didn't know the ball was in motion.
There is a jackrabbit, a Forney jackrabbit, injured on the playing field at the 34-yard line. And I believe that's going to be Nick Tanner, the defensive end, 5'9", 185-pound defensive end, is down. And John, down on the sidelines, talk to us a little bit and tell us your thoughts of how McKinney North has prevailed here in the third quarter and now fourth.
I think the McKinney North Bulldogs have done a great job coming out at half, keeping the momentum going in their favor. They need to keep going in here in the fourth quarter because the Jackrabbits have a very explosive offense with the running back.
Hey, John, how's the coaching staff down on the sidelines? What's the tempo of the coaching staff?
Well, in the first half, the coaches were, I guess you could say, a little worried because this is the first time they faced a real test. They've kind of calmed down here in the second half a little bit, and the players are getting a little bit more focused in compared to that first half. Back up to y'all.
All right, thanks, John. And I guess the 21-point lead will help you relax a little bit in the second half, and obviously, the coaching staff can kind of let their guard down a little bit with a 3-touchdown lead.
I don't think they'll let their guard down, but they'll be more relaxed.
Yeah,
sure.
I probably should have worded that a little better.
Yeah, you know better than that. You've been around coaches. Coaches never let their guard down.
31-10, McKinney North in the lead and the ball. Moving right to left. They're going to fake the handoff to Barrett. Herbal was in trouble. All alone is Blake Mooney, but he overshot him towards the middle of the field. And Herbal was in all kinds of trouble and had to just let that one go. And almost a spectacular play.
The fact that he got it that far should say something about Herbal's skills as a quarterback.
A tremendous rocket arm because he threw off his back foot under pressure. And just
still overthrew a running receiver down the sideline. Or at this point, he started curving into the middle of the field.
50 yards in the air, that ball went off his back foot. That's what a 6'3", 200-pound senior quarterback can do for you. Shotgun, handoff Barrett, running right guard. And he's got some good blocks out there from his center. But Barrett pushes the pile about 4 yards. So that'll bring up third down. And right at 5, just a little bit more than 5. The scoreboard's going to say 6. So the ball resting at the McKinney North 35-yard line, moving right to left. 11:08 left to go in this game. McKinney North on top, 31-10. Two receivers to the near side, one to the right. Herbal drops straight back, wants to pass right side now. Thinks otherwise, throws it to the middle of the field for his tight end, Jeff Olson. It was there, but so was the defender, and Olson drops it. It was a great play, actually, by the linebacker, Darnell Goldsby, who came over and kind of got in the way of that pass.
Actually, I believe that was Aaron Woods, the other linebacker. And Herbal saw Olsen just a bit too late, Monty, because he was open. If he had thrown the ball, a second and a half earlier, Olsen would have been able to snag that one. As it was, the linebacker was barely just able to knock it down.
Well, we had confirmation earlier that McKinney was up 14-0 over Richardson. If they can hang on, that would be win number 499 in UIL for the McKinney Lions, as the punt by Brandon Dunn is away here, and it will bounce at the 40-yard line and move up, take a Forney hop to the 41-yard line in Forney territory.
That's North's first punt on the night.
So with McKinney taking their 499th win tonight, if they can hang on over Richardson, McKinney North looking for their 20th victory compared to 25 losses. And, of course, Sean Pratt has been a part of every one of those games. A lot of struggles, McKinney Boyd coming on this year, and McKinney North was basically in the same situation only 4 years ago, but here they are, number 2 team in the area, the McKinney North Bulldogs. Shotgun formation. This is going to be Arterberry. Nope. Hartwick back in the game, throwing the deep ball, and it's caught, and maybe a face mask, and it is. That on the catch is Medlock once again. It might be Brandon Dunn in coverage, the safety coming over to help out, but I believe it was Dunn who had the face mask. Regardless, it's a pretty long catch from Hartwick to Medlock inside McKinney North territory, inside the 30 to the 27-yard line without the penalty.
Nice 32-yard pass play. I'm not sure what caused North to bite. It looked like the pass pattern was to go towards somebody in the flat there, but instead it went down the sideline, and I think that's what caused the blip in coverage.
Well, it might have actually been Dennis Craig instead of Brandon Dunn. The 7 and the 1 look pretty similar. Hartwick in the game, 2 receivers to either side, under center, 2 tight end set. Hartwick fakes the hand into pressure, and Kenny Alexander is going to sack him way back at the 38-yard line. Kenny Alexander comes from nowhere, and he was back there along with Hartwick, almost as fast as Hartwick.
Well, they're going to get forward progress up to the 33, so not as big loss. You're still looking at about a 10-yard difference there. That's just a huge sack. And I don't think they were running a blitz on that play. It looked like it was simply a pass rush situation.
Well, this time in shotgun formation for Hartwick. In the backfield is DeRozier, and I'm not sure why, because I would have Peter Smith back there every time. As Hartwick wants to throw the fade route on the right side, and his receiver gets kind of tangled up at the line of scrimmage. No flag on the play.
It looked like there's a miscommunication. The receiver saw one thing, the quarterback saw another. Sometimes you have those pass plays where you have reads, and if one of them reads it wrong, like the receiver looked like he was supposed to go down the sideline, instead he ran a stop.
Well, Michael Scott was in great coverage right at the line of scrimmage. He was where the receiver was and not where the ball was, and that's where you want to be. Scott playing great coverage over there. But Hartwick looked like he was throwing downfield for the fade route, but the receiver nowhere around.
That's why I wonder if it was a misread by one or the other.
This looks like the old running shoot offense. 2 receivers to either side. Hartwick shotgun, drops 3 steps back. Middle screen to DeRozier, and right there is the linebacker Mike Smith, who makes the stop on the open field tackle on 3rd down. And so it'll be 4th down for Forney. And it was 3rd and 22, so with about a 1-yard gain, it should be 4th and 21 or so.
Get late in the game where you might have to think about going for it if you want to try to pull out a win. It looks like that's what's going to happen here. When you're down 3 touchdowns and 9 minutes left to go, you're out of a lot of options.
Split out wide left will be Brandon Medlock. Coming near side is Austin Williams. 2 men in the backfield. DeRozier dots the I. And Hartwick, the quarterback, is going to fake the hand. Kenny Alexander gets him from the outside again. Alexander coming on the blitz was shot out of a rifle, and Hartwick didn't know what hit him.
Boy, nothing you can do there if you're a quarterback. Absolutely nothing.
Kenny Alexander showing why he's going to OSU as he makes the play right there on 4th down to give McKinney North the ball back. And, not only give them the ball back, but give them the ball back in pretty good field position, as that loss on that sack was 11 yards. Wow.
3 sacks so far on the day for the North defense. That's accumulated in 27 lost yards.
8:40 on the clock here in the fourth quarter, 31-10, McKinney North in the lead. Eric Herbal still in the game. Blake Mooney and Douglas still in the game. Chase Barrett still in the game. He gets the hand here, and he is popped at the 45-yard line. A nice play from the linebacker, middle linebacker, Jordan Elder from Forney, as he came up and really clocked Chase Barrett right up the middle. But a 2-yard gain for Chase Barrett and the McKinney North Bulldogs. And they'll just try to roll this clock down as it's 8:15 and rolling here in the fourth.
Well, Chase Barrett, 159 yards on the game. It's a likely candidate to do it for you to run out the clock.
David Douglas to the near side, Blake Mooney to the far side. Handoff Barrett, running left tackle, has near side, has the 50, has the 45, knocked out of bounds at the 44-yard line rather. A nice hit by Forney's Aaron Woods, who comes up and makes the stop. The outside linebacker, 5'10", 185-pound senior. And John Leidy, as we're killing time here, 7:54 left to go in this game, did you ever find anything out about those uniforms?
Yes, Detective John over here on the sideline has finally got down to the bottom of the case. They brought both the old and new road jerseys and gave the players their choice before the game. I'm working on my new case right now. I'll come back with y'all in a little bit.
Thanks a lot. Herbal wanting to throw the home run ball down the field, has an open Blake Mooney, and it's caught. It's touchdown time in Texas, and just like that, Herbal and Mooney can connect. That's the 6th touchdown of the year for Blake Mooney, and he was wide open and all alone. And now you got to think about Kevin Rush. Is he going to take that personally?
Well, I'm not sure if that was he was the initial receiver. You got to wonder why they're passing it with a 3-touchdown lead halfway through the fourth. But if you're a North fan, you like the result. That's the 193rd passing yard, the 2nd touchdown thrown by Eric Herbal.
Well, that brings the score 37-10, awaiting the PAT by Stephen Meyer, who's been perfect so far. The snap's back. McGowan's hold's good. Meyer's kick is good. 38-10, McKinney North in the lead. 7:32 left to go in the game. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Citibank Stadium in Forney, Texas. Monty Walker along with Brandon Helms and John Leidy, Detective John Leidy. 44-yard pass from Eric Herbal to Blake Mooney, and our new score 38-10 after what I believe is a 57-yard drive and 4 plays, if I'm correct. And my math is, it's a little late, I should say. My math is probably not perfect.
Well, it's tough to do multiple duties. You know, if you look at for example, an NFL broadcast, there's 7 people up in the booth doing all the tasks that we as 2 are trying to do.
7:32 left to go in the game. We'll pass along some scores in a moment. Stephen Meyer's kick's going to be taken at the 3-yard line, up to the 15, to the 20, and 25, and knocked out of bounds by Kyle Dancy at the 26-yard line. On the return was Brandon Medlock, and let's check down with John Leidy. John, you working on a new case down there?
Yes, sir, I am. I'm working on a new case down here. It's a classified case at the moment. Something I cannot inform you till after the game. Back up to y'all.
All right, thanks a lot,
You
John.
guys are hams. Y'all know that? Y'all are about as hammy as it gets.
Scores to pass along. McKinney over Richardson, 10-0. And I think we said 14 earlier, but 10-0 is what we got confirmation on. Frisco Centennial over Saxe, 27-7. Allen over Rowlett, 24-3. Denison over Sulphur Springs, 35-20. And here's a handoff up the middle for Forney on 1st and 10. And that'll gain about 3 yards up to the 30-yard line. And on the carry, I believe, was Peter Smith.
Yeah.
So it's 7:10 left to go in this game. Again, McKinney North on top, 38-10 here. But again, Sherman over Terrell, 27-7. Denison over Sulphur Springs, 35-20. Carter over Plano, and I believe that was a final, 14-3. Second down and 7. And this will be DeRozier getting the carry, and this is his by far best carry of the night, as it's a first down march up to the 39-yard line. 6:48 left to go in the game. Maybe too little too late for DeRozier. With some new players in on defense for McKinney North into the game for North, Rodney Nelson in on defense, along with Colin Hager, among others. It'll be a new first down for Forney, moving left to right. Arterberry handoff to Peter Smith, who will gain about 2 yards. Call it 4, actually. How did I miss that? Almost a 5-yard gain. Up to the 44-yard line.
Well, officially only 4, so don't hurt too badly.
I shouldn't worry about that one.
Yeah.
Clock is rolling about at 6 minutes, and now under 6 minutes.
This could be the fastest quarter of the game.
Well, it can't get much slower than the second quarter that we had.
Well, and the nice thing is Forney's not committing as many penalties.
It's a nice stop by Brett Davis initially, but Peter Smith gets away. 40, 35, 30, 25. He's fast. 10, 5. Touchdown, Forney. And the score may indicate a closer game than what it has actually been. The final score, we'll find out what it is. But right now, 38-16 awaiting the PAT. But you'll wonder how in the world did Forney get 16 points, or 17 if they make the PAT. One was a defensive touchdown on a Chase Barrett fumble that was picked up and ran in.
That was a simple off-tackle play to the left. Davis had penetration, but the Forney defender was right in front of him, and Davis wasn't able to do anything in terms of grabbing Smith, and he was just able to bounce it outside where there was nobody. Then he outran 3 McKinney defenders.
The extra point by Thomas Moreland is good. So 38-17, 5:41 left to go in the game. We just heard that McKinney is up 17-7. So good news there. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK. Welcome back to Citibank Stadium in Forney, Texas. Monty Walker, Brandon Helms, and Detective John Leidy down on the sidelines. 38-17 here, McKinney North in the lead. And John, real quick, what do you got for us down on the sideline?
Yes, head coach Sean Pratt has had a hands-on aspect to the offensive lineman's game tonight. The first half, they were allowing a few people through the line, and Eric Erbel was having to rush his passes. Coach Pratt talked to him at halftime and through the third quarter. Back up to y'all.
All right, thanks a lot, John. As Forney will kick off here, Thomas Moreland boots this one high, very high, and kind of short, taken at the 24-yard line by McKinney North, and that's going to be Kenny McGowan who fields that kick. And he will go down at the 26-yard line, and that's where McKinney North will take over at their own 26, moving right to left with 5:35 left to go in the game.
Another fine example of why the pooch kick can be so effective on the high school level.
And Brandon loves the pooch kick.
Well, I love it in the situation if you don't have a good kicker, like North. You know, they can use the leg of Meyer, and because the blocking is set up so much further downfield, that allows at least a couple of the defenders to get through, and they have a good chance. But the pooch kick, when your kicker's not the best in the world, great equalizer in the return game.
Paul Stanko, or not Paul, I think that's his brother, Vince Stanko into the game at quarterback, and he's going to hand off, and that's going to be Charles Cole once again, bouncing and spinning his way out past the 20, out past the 35 to the 36-yard line. So a new offensive set here for McKinney North with a 38-17 lead.
Yeah, it looked like Coach Pratt just wanted to see him go downfield one more time to see if they can use it in the passing game effectively, and then sure enough, they got the touchdown. In comes the second team. Pure speculation, though, but it looks like they're getting the youngsters working nonetheless.
Stanko will run the same type of offense. Will move Cole over in motion. Handoff Cole, running left tackle, cuts it back inside, bumps off a defender from the 39 out to the 40-yard line. A gain of about 3 and enough for a first down. So With 4:54 and rolling here, the clock stops momentarily to move the change, but they'll quickly set that up. So 4:50 and rolling here, 38-17, McKinney North in the lead at their own 40-yard line. Also into the game for McKinney North will be Jeffrey Williams, split out wide left. Blake Mooney still into the game, however, on the right side. Handoff Cole once again, another 3 yards up the middle, just killing the clock here. 4:24 and rolling. It'll be second down and about 8 from the 42-yard line. But you know what? This is going to be a game 3-0 for the first time. Obviously, they were 2-0 for the first time, so 3-0 will be a first for McKinney North. But you know, this is a team that has grown up over the last couple of years. They were always kind of a 5-5 team. Even went 2-8 in a year they were expected to be a lot better than that. But last year,
injuries really hurt that year, though.
Last year with Kenny Duck coming in with his new defensive philosophy, really changed the outlook of this football team. And there's a timeout on the field. We'll take one too. 38-17, McKinney North in the lead. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK.
The Family League.
Welcome back to Forney, Texas, and City Bank Stadium here, right off of Highway 80 in Forney. 38-17, McKinney North in the lead. This one's just about in the books. 3:24 and rolling here in the fourth quarter. The second team offense for McKinney North is in the game, including Stanko, the quarterback, and Cole, the tailback. Stanko wants to throw, sets up, he's in trouble. 2 men pressure him. He gets away somehow. Now he tucks it, and he's still going to lose a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, back to the 38-yard line. A nice job of getting away, though. It could have been a lot worse than that. So McKinney North will win their 20th game in school history tonight, and will go to 20-25. Sean Pratt, of course, that will make his record 20-25. But I think you got to talk about the defense when you talk about this team, and everybody's going to talk about the offense. And the offense, as great as it is, but I think, you know, the story of this football team when it's all said and done is going to be how much improved defensively they are. Giving up 26 points a game last year, and now giving up 27 overall this season in 3 games. Very impressive. Brandon Dunn will come on to punt with 2:23 left to go and rolling here. He'll stand at his own 25-yard line. They'll let the play clock wind down.
We'll get close to 2 minutes left to go in the half. There's about a 3-second differential.
DeRozier's back to return this punt. It's a high, booming punt. A nice punt by Dunn. It's going to be taken at the 23-yard line, but DeRozier, but right there, a nice open field tackle for McKinney North's Dennis Craig. And I'm telling you, that's probably one of the best open field tackles you'll see on a punt.
Well, and it's easy to do that when they're looking straight up. And that's what was going on there. DeRozier should have fair caught the ball. There's no exception.
The McKinney North Bulldog is down, and that is Rodney Nelson. And he's down at the 32, about the 32-yard line. John Lighty down on the sidelines. Talk to us about what's going down there in your neck of the woods on the sideline.
The McKinney North Bulldogs have put in just about all their second team offense and defense. On offense, the exception was Blake Mooney out there at wide receiver, and we had also a offensive lineman that was from the first string that were playing. Defense is fixing to take out on the field, and I anticipate them putting in a second string also. Back up to y'all.
All right, thanks a lot, John. And you're correct. There are a lot of new faces on defense into the football game for McKinney North. And we'll try to give you as many of those as we can. Some of those we don't name off every week, like Nick Coates, who's into the game, a linebacker. And now he moves over to the right end. Also into the game is Chris Cephas. This is going to be a handoff by Forney, and that's going to be DeRozier, who fights his way out to the 28-yard line, a gain of about 4. 38-17, McKinney North leading here with only $1:45 left to go in this game. Pretty dominant overall a couple of miscues. The big one probably was the Chase Barrett fumble, right? Just shy of midfield. That Justin Price picked up and ran 49 yards for the touchdown. Really, that was the only big issue for McKinney North tonight, other than, Herbal threw the 2 interceptions, but they really didn't play a factor in this football game. I formation for Forney on second down. Handoff to Rozier. No, that's a new player in the game, and he's very quick as well. And chasing him down for McKinney North is Aaron Fuller, but not after a big game, all the way into McKinney North territory at the 44-yard line. 1:10 left to go, 38-17, McKinney North in the lead.
New carrier into the game for Forney, DeAndre Smith. Nice little run there.
A junior, 5'9", 180 pounds, and he's very shifty. It'll be 1st and 10 for Forney. A little bit too late for them. Under a minute now in this football game. 1 man in the backfield. Arterberry, the quarterback. 2 receivers to either side. They're going to hand off. Once again, a big hole, but you have to remember this is against the second-team defense. About an 8-yard gain on first down, maybe 9, all the way to the 35-yard line. But, again, under a minute and against the second-team defense. A little too late here for the Forney Jackrabbits. But you have to say for them, they do have their second team in as well.
Yeah.
And actually their third-team quarterback, as Tyler McElveen, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Second down and short. This is Arterberry back in the game at quarterback, and he'll toss back to the tailback. A lot of new players into the game that normally have not been. Another first down, but 16 seconds on the clock, and as soon as they move the sticks, they'll start that again, and they have 13 now. As 1st and 10, I think Forney will just let it go.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So the 20th win in McKinney North football history is in the books. 20-25, a school record for McKinney North, and it wasn't so long ago that it was very lopsided, a one-loss column. But now, etching closer to 500 with obviously the 4 more wins last year and 3-0 this year. And you know what? They proved something, that they can play on the road. There was the big question around McKinney and McKinney North whether they could actually pull off a win on the road and play as well away from Ron Poe Stadium. And they have. They've played really well tonight, other than a couple of miscues and 3 turnovers. Other than that, I would think you'd have to call this a pretty solid win for McKinney North.
Yeah, the run defense looked a little suspect at times as the speed of Peter Smith hurt him. The power of Andre DeRozier didn't hurt too much. They limited him pretty effectively. He only had 11 carries for 23 yards. You hear more about that in the post-game show, but the quickness in the run game looks to be, at this point, their weakness.
Well, we're going to take a quick timeout, and we'll try to be back with some player interviews and we'll try to hear from Coach Sean Pratt as well. 38-17, a nice win here for McKinney North. Back in a moment on 97.5 KLAK.